Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Empire of the Ghouls. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last session, and then we'll get underway with tonight's session. So team, you'll likely recall when we picked up last week, you guys were actually on the Osprey, the ship that was captained by Captain Sigurd. You guys had booked passage on this through Jagoda Masaryk in order to take you over to the northern areas, particularly to the Reaver's Cave, because this is where the diviners that Jagoda was relying on had pointed your group to. You guys had done some activity here on the ship, fought off these strange deep ones. So when we picked up last week, you guys were continuing your travels, kind of just getting acclimated to the ship once again, checking on the crew members, making sure folks were all right for the most part, and kind of just trying to chat and see what other information you could learn about these deep one attacks. The captain had indicated that Jagoda explained that you guys were all capable combatants and that should the ship come under attack that you would be able to assist in defending it, and that's why the sailors themselves didn't necessarily jump into action right away, kind of allowing you guys to do what you could. Luckily, your efforts were great. You guys managed to defeat the opponents and not allow any of the sailors to be taken captive. You guys continued your travel on the ship. It was still a few more days before you got to the next leg of your journey, which was arriving near the Reaver's Cave. You guys actually got there during the day, but decided after you saw this large burning bonfire on the shore that it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to just kind of start rowing right up at that point, because obviously you'd be spotted right away. So you guys decided to take the Osprey back a bit and then wait till nighttime and then set the rowboat to the side of the Osprey and make your way rowing into the Reaver's Cave and seeing what you could find. You guys approached kind of from the east, and noticing this large bonfire was still burning even all those hours later at nighttime. You guys made your way sort of hugging the east area of the cave as much as you could. There was a bit of a beach here, but you guys were quiet enough with the oars that you managed to row past those reavers that were on the beach there and made your way sort of around to the back where there was a dock and a large carve, another type of ship. You guys pulled your rowboat up to shore and entered the elevated rock stairs into this sort of almost looked like a gathering area or an eating area, where you quickly stumbled upon some Reaver dwarves with their giant boars, and this got us into a battle. The Reaver dwarves tried to mount the giant boars. It seemed as this is where they were most comfortable, was on back of a giant boar, and then charged them into battle against your team. You guys did manage to significantly wound these folks. However, during the battle, another giant boar, this one more ghostly looking, seemingly materialized through the wall, and riding it was a heavily armored Reaver dwarf, and he joined the battle against you guys as well. With a combination of muscle and magic, you guys did manage to defeat all of these opponents, slowly whittling them down and eventually defeating them. With these folks defeated, you guys then made your way to the south after checking this room out just briefly. You were able to find that there was a key on the rider of the ghostly looking giant boar. And then you guys made your way southwest into this other chamber. Based on how it was laid out, it seemed to be sort of like a quarters for this leader that you had just defeated. And you guys noticed that there was a few different areas to investigate. There was a chest that was of interest. There was a huge pile of furs that you guys at first didn't notice. There was some crates and barrels. You guys found a letter that was sitting on top of one of the crates, and after reading it, it looked to be a wedding invitation to these Reaver dwarves. You guys also found a sword and shield, both of which you later determined to be magical, and after a closer inspection, you noticed that there was some engraving on the inside of the shield that named who owned them and asked that they be delivered to the former bear's shield sisters at Huldremos. You guys continued searching, looked through the furs, found some additional information there, some more valuables, and all of this together pointed you to your next leg of your journey, which is there's this location that you need to head to known as the Midnight Temple. Some of the more academically inclined members of the group wondered if perhaps they had heard of the Midnight Temple, but if they had, it was only very, very briefly and at the most highest of levels, as this is a pretty secluded location. However, you have heard of Huldromos before, and so you guys decided to make your way out of the cave. You did do a quick search of the carve on your way out, noticing a few odds and ends, but decided not to mess with the carve and just get back on your rowboat and make your way back to the Osprey. As you guys left, returned to the Osprey and spoke with Captain Sigurd once again, he was able to let you know that he could take you closer to the Huldromos area. He mentioned that there was a particular area that was sort of on the coast, you could say, the closest that he could get. So he was able to take you to this village, which was known as Marsh Hollow. This was another couple of days' journey. So you guys took the Osprey up and got into more of a narrow area of the water. Once again, dropped the rowboat to the side, made your way up a little bit of open waters, got to the coast, rowed till you got a little bit closer, found yourself in marshy wetlands, and just hiked the little bit of remaining distance to Marsh Hollow. Once you arrived at Marsh Hollow, you found a small town built on stilts over the very wet area. So again, think very much wetlands, marshlands. You guys were able to rest a little bit here, kind of resupply. You did ask a bit about Huldromos, and you were directed by the locals to the northeast. You guys had access to, not necessarily in-game, but we did show you a new map of the Huldromos region and surrounding regions, and gave you a rough idea of where it is that you needed to head. And you guys decided not to spend too much time in Marsh Hollow. You were ready to go. So you guys got your things together and made your way away from Marsh Hollow and started traveling through the very marshy area. You had traveled for not too long, in a single day, I believe it was, before you find yourself, after striking a conversation with one of the locals here at Marsh Hollow and purchasing a like this fisherman's skiff and asking him to pilot it for you. So essentially you could think of it as you're renting his services and his boat as he pilots you through the marshy wetlands. As it was described, you guys are going through areas where you're having to pole along. So he's got a really long pole that he stands on the back of the skiff and then kind of moves that pole to navigate your vessel around debris and flotsam, that type of stuff. There are certain times where you get to an area where it's more dry land. You have to all disembark, pick up the skiff, and kind of carry it over to the next big body of water, set it back down, re-embark, and then once again be back on the water. You guys had done this a bit, and as you were traveling in that day, you found an area where you were kind of moving through the watery areas and going underneath two very, very large trees that had a lot of branching areas and vines and things hanging down. As you guys made your way underneath those two very large trees, you saw two creatures up in the trees, one in either tree, start to swing down as though it looked as they were going to attack you. Creatures you hadn't spotted before. So this is a recap, quick recap for last week, guys. What did I miss? That anybody would like to add?
I got one.
Sure. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. You sure?
For sure.
Okay. When we found the wedding invite, it kind of said that the wedding would be happening at the next new moon. And we were able to determine that we had 23 days until that new moon. Then we had 6 days to travel. And so now we are looking at 17 days for the new moon.
Yes, indeed. Good addition. Go ahead and take inspiration there, Archkill.
I'm going to do something dangerous, which is, I think, is a correction, not so much an addition. So that's always dangerous to correct the GM. But my understanding is the inscription on the shield wasn't so much to return the sword and shield, but to let the shield maidens at that location know that the owner had died a noble death.
Oh, yes. I think high-level summary, yeah, but let's get those exact words so we're on the same page.
Yeah.
So exact words were, if you find this, I beseech you to return my shield and blade to my shield sisters in Huldromos. Tell them Rangrid Iron-Eyes died well. So, yeah, specifically did say return.
Both. It does say return. My bad.
No worries. I won't grant inspiration because that's essentially the same thing I already said. But, yeah, good discussion. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add? All right, if nothing else, folks, then let's go ahead and get you guys right back over into the thick of things. We'll go ahead and put you guys right on this map where you guys have this odd encounter. So you're going through these large trees. Just a quick technical note, as you can probably tell, these trees are on the foreground layer. So I was trying to allow you to see both the fact that you're on a boat and then the cover of the trees. If these become too difficult for you guys to navigate, let me know and I'll just move them, because that's, might make it easier. But just let me know if that becomes an issue. Let's go ahead and open our initiative tracker. Unfortunately, our scripts are still not working. However, I did hear from Roll20 developers that they acknowledge that this is a problem. It's something they're working on. The impression I got that it was something that should be fixed relatively soon, but with Roll20, it's always relative is always a very relative term. So we will hopefully see that fixed before too long. So please go ahead and roll your initiative. I've got the turn tracker open and we will see how things lie. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn on some higher up tempo music here. Let's take a quick look at what we've got. All right, and then we've got one person who still has alert. Would you like to offer to switch initiative?
Runok, would you like to switch?
Sure.
Okay. You get 17, I'll take 10.
Hey, Adam, I have a question for you regarding the map. Since we've been going through it, can we kind of tell on average what the depth is in the water? I think you mentioned it before. I just don't recall.
I mean, it's kind of all over the place. I would say, generally speaking, somewhere between 3 and 5 feet deep seems to be the most common.
Fair enough. Thanks.
All right, so we've got that switched initiative. I'm going to resort. That puts us at the top of the order. Okay, so as we start at the top of the round, Glory, you are first. Feel free to take your turn.
Okay, bonus action rage. And I'll strike at this one.
So this guy is high up in the tree at the moment, so he's kind of like swinging down, but he's still probably 25 feet or so away from you at this point.
Oh, okay. And then
all right, so you're hopping off the boat and into the water solid. As you step into the water, you sink down pretty quickly into this kind of muck. Go ahead and give me an athletics check here, Glory, to see how well you're able to navigate in this area. It's pretty challenging. Oh, actually, you're raging, so you're at advantage. Yes. Okay, yeah, you have no problem here, Glory. Because you're raging, that 25 is going to make it pretty easy for you. You can consider moving through this area difficult terrain, but no other hindrances.
okay, so that's 10 feet,
Yes.
or was it 5 feet?
Call it 10 because you're entering difficult terrain.
I'm going to dodge.
Dodge, okay. All right, Laud, at the start of your turn, based on your passive perception that I was rolling before you guys before this encounter, you happen to spot a large snout in the water in this area.
Okay. I will call that out to the team. Hey, there's something in the water over here.
All right, based on
and
you
then-
calling that out and other people's perception checks, at least as far as this first round, Archgale, Barnaby, Grim, Laud, and Runok all see this snout and are aware of it.
Okay. And then I will, at this one, I'll pull out my loot and start playing a song. Frights whisper in the night, run and flee with all your might, and that's dissonant whispers at that guy.
I'm sorry, was that the one to your northwest or the one to your southeast?
This way. Yeah,
Northwest. All right.
And that is a DC 16 Wisdom save.
He is going to succeed on that save. Go ahead and post your damage.
Let's see. Okay, I can't react for. Yeah. Okay. I'll do the damage. 7 damage.
Okay, so he will take 3 points of damage, but is otherwise unaffected.
Actually, can I react in cutting? No, it's not a save. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like you asked that every time. I'm pretty sure we've got that one down this point. That you cannot do that on saves.
Yeah.
All right, Grim. It is your turn next.
All right, Adam. Where are the roots to these trees with my passive perception 13?
Well, I think what you mean is where's the trunk, right? That's what you're trying to figure out.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'll do just really quickly is I'll move both of these to give you an idea. So I'm going to move that one. So you can see on this one here, it's pretty obvious this is the trunk. This one is actually kind of coming out of the water a bit. So it's more like in this area here.
You're not broadcasting, just so you know.
Oh, sorry about that. I was on the wrong layer, so you couldn't see that. This one here, you'll notice the big kind of like half trunk. That's where this overhead is. It's hanging over. And then this one was more like in this area. It's actually coming right out of the water.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, I'm going to action don my shield, and I am going to see what happens here.
All right, the fisherman at the back looks pretty shocked to see what's going on. He holds his oar up in a defensive position. Barnaby.
Hey, Adam, I don't think I'm concentrating on anything, so I'm just going to take that off just because I don't remember. And
yeah, it's been a while since your last
out.
battle. I can't imagine you are.
Yeah, I'm always concentrating, but not always on things that make sense, you know. So, all right, I am going to go ahead and heed the great words of wisdom from our orc companion and don my shield as well. And I think that's actually just going to be it for now.
All right, Caliban.
When we see these creatures up in the trees, does that mean is there spots in the branches that look like we could jump up beside them, or is there other spots you could land to be in their range? Or
so basically, if you want to try to climb the tree, you would need to get to the trunk, kind of like Grim was saying, and then ascend it. The limbs that kind of branch out, they only start branching out about 20 feet up, and they go downwards. But unless you've got, I think you have jump. You could probably magically jump high enough to get up to one of those limbs if you want to try that.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Although maybe not this round. So I am going to use my action to don my shield as well, and then bonus action cast jump on myself. Because I think getting around this water is going to be a pain. I think that could be handy. I think that's all I can do on my turn.
All right, next up is Runak.
Okay, Runak looks around, sees all these big creatures leering down at him, including the snout. Like, he sees that snout, right? That
He
creature?
sees yes. Now again, you see the snout. You can target the snout if you want. Obviously, you probably are aware it's going to have significant cover.
Well, I'm just doing a spell that requires creatures to make a saving throw. So
Yep, that's good enough.
Runak,
Yep.
he's going to be like, "Ugh, you guys got to lighten up and let us pass." He's going to do Tasha's hideous laughter on all three creatures.
Okay, go ahead and post that. 3 targets. All right, so that's saying 1 creature of your choice. Are you upcasting or?
Yes, yeah, because Warlock, so I only have 3rd level slots. So.
All right, I'm not seeing anything there about casting at a higher level. Let me pull that up in the SRD.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can.
in the handbook it says higher level stuff.
Yeah, mine says. Actually, it doesn't seem like it's on here, but it is. It definitely is. Upcast is an additional creature per level.
Okay, so you're limited on 30 feet of distance. So based on how high in the trees these guys are, I would say you would have to kind of lean over, and you could get one or the other of the arboreal targets, and then 30 feet. Yeah, you could get the snout. But again, these guys are like 25 feet up, so you would have to again get one or the other, I would say.
Okay. In that case, Runak will get the one on his side.
The northwest. Okay, so here comes
Yes.
2 saves. Wisdom saves, all right? All right, that guy will fail the save. The other target is going to succeed. I'm not revealing that just because you guys don't know quite what it is yet.
Okay.
So let's see. Failed save has prone condition and incapacitated condition for the duration. All right, so because it is prone, it is going to fall out of the tree. It is going to hit into the water, suffering. Because it's hitting into the water, I'm just going to say that's minimal damage. So I'm going to take 1 point off of it. Kind of smacks into the base of the water there. That is going to give it another saving throw against this spell. And it has an advantage now because it's because of damage. So 18. All right, so it is going to hit the ground. It is now in the water. It is prone, but it is no longer laughing.
Tough crowd. As a bonus action, I summon my greatsword to my hands from where it's stowed.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, so now in the water, he is going to stand from prone, and he is going to grab onto the tree trunk, climb up, and then dash to essentially get to his former position. So he's about 25 feet up in the limbs now. After his turn, but before the next turn, let's see, Glory, you are going to be attacked. You are dodging, but unfortunately you cannot see this creature. Let me make sure that dodge didn't change for 2024. All right, pulling up the exact text of dodge. Yes, okay, so this won't apply. It says any attack roll made against you has disadvantage. If you can see the attacker, you cannot. So this attack's actually going to be at advantage because you cannot see the attacker. So this snout suddenly leaps out of the water, attacking at advantage against you, Glory. 20 against Glory. That is going to hit. So as this massive snout snaps upon you, it is going to connect. It is going to deal 14 points of damage to you since you are raging. You will then become restrained. It is then going to slap out with its tail as it's spinning around with Glory in its mouth. It slaps its tail at Grim. And let's see, 19 against Grim. That is going to miss. Glory, you're currently restrained, grappled, of course. And team, you're going to notice as this giant creature pulls Glory under the water as it's moving downwards. Glory, you have just a half a second to take a deep breath in before you go underwater. All right, I'm going to set him. I'm going to keep him there, but he is technically underwater at the moment. Alrighty, next up is the other one in the tree. He is going to climb down the limbs, and as he does, you're going to notice the limbs start sagging downward, giving him within 10 feet of arch scale. And when he is at that 10 foot of arch scale position, he is going to slash out with his claws. All right, now I'm noticing that his modifier is wrong here, so I'm just going to roll this naturally. All right, that is going to be a fumble. So here comes fumble. All right, so he ends his current turn. He's surprised until the end of the next turn. All right, so we are going to mark him as surprised. All right, his turn ends immediately, and then we move to Archgale.
Okay. Do I still see this large creature out in the front, or does it dive under with glory?
It is currently underwater. I would say you can probably see like the tops of its spiky part of its body, because it can't get quite deep enough to be completely invisible underwater.
Okay. Let's see how far. 15. Is there room on the boat right in front of Grim there? Or I'm
Sure.
sorry, behind Grim.
Yes. However, because you're really awkward movement on the boat, consider movement on the boat to also be difficult terrain. You're kind of sliding past your companions.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Okay. And
So I
remind
think-
me of the radius on that.
15.
15 feet. Okay, so... and you're casting it in your current position?
That's correct.
Okay, so since this one came down to strike at you, he is currently in the radius. This one's 25 feet up, so he is not. And of course, this one is not either.
Okay. I'll need a wisdom save from the one who is.
All right, one who is. Here comes wisdom save. 17. I believe that's a success.
Yep.
All right, the spirits strike into him, and he shrugs off most of that damage.
Okay, and I'm going to move right next to Laud here, or wherever. That would be 10, 20 feet. And does that manage to get any of the other ones?
It does not. He's underwater, so I'm going to say that is not going to affect him.
Okay. That's fine. I'll end my turn.
All right, top of the next round, Glory. You're currently holding your breath. You're in the jaws of this creature, and you're underwater. What would you like to do?
I'll do bonus action Celestial Revelation, the Chronic Shroud. So he needs a DC 8 plus proficiency. which is a
Charisma.
3.
All right, charisma saving throw. Here it comes. He will fail that charisma save, so he will be frightened of you at the moment.
And then as an action, can I break free?
You could certainly attempt to. Yep. Go ahead and give me an athletics check and see if you can break through. Yes, you do indeed manage to pry the jaws of this giant crocodile open, and you are free. All right, next up is Laud.
All right, so I assume I can also see this, the scales on the big alligator creature in the water.
It is
in a
underwater,
fantasy?
but yes, you can see sort of the outline of it. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Command on it to halt, which should make it just basically take no actions or bonus actions if it fails that DC 16 Wisdom save.
It does seem to be affected.
All right, and then I will bonus action Bardic Inspiration to Glory because they're still in the water in case something happens. And that will be my turn.
Okay.
All right, sorry, just doing a real quick double check. Okay, yeah, interesting. All right, yeah, Grim, your turn.
All right. Glory, did he just let go of you or what?
He thought better of it.
You probably scared him, huh? Okay. This guy's in the water, right?
He's in the limbs. He's about 10 feet out, off of the water, so you would have to have a 10-foot reach to be able to reach him.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to break any of the conditions that Glory just told me about the alligator, so I'm just going to ready my action for my ornate silvered spear to stab at a creature that comes within range. Seems like a spellcaster's op.
All right, the fisherman is continuing to dodge. We'll move to Barnaby.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and there may be some space, all the trees and stuff. Sorry, I couldn't collect my thoughts. But the one that's already been hit, the one in northwest, what type of a disadvantage would I have? What does it look like?
He's climbed 25 feet up into the tree. He would have partial cover against any kind of attack rolls.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do it simple and try to shoot him twice with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
Oops, that was damage. That was wonderful, whatever.
Okay, you aim carefully between the limbs, and yes, both of those manage to connect.
Well, sure. I'm sure he felt it.
The pew-pew hits, but not so hard. All right, Caliban.
This one that's 10 feet, can I climb up onto a limb to get closer to him, or is there room for two there?
You could essentially jump behind him and land on the limb. You're not sure if it will support your weight. Again, he looks much bigger than you, and it's supporting his weight. So take that what it means.
I think that's worth a try. So I'm going to try to jump.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for ease of play, I'm going to put you here. Remind me how far you can jump with jump. You need
30
about...
feet.
Okay, so yep, no problem. You jump there up onto the limb, and yes, you are essentially, you land on the limb. Now you're trying to kind of balance. You can tell, he's adept at moving in the limbs, has no trouble with his balance, anything like that. You're having a little bit more difficulty because you're not an arboreal creature, so go ahead and throw me an acrobatics check as you try to maintain your balance.
At just normal?
Yep, just straight up. Yeah, so you have no problem here. You're balancing perfectly. You can continue to take whatever action you like.
My ultimate goal is I want to try knocking him out of this tree. So I'm not sure if that's a grapple and pull him out, or a push.
You would make an unarmed strike to try to push him off of the limb, if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, let's try to do that.
All right, remind me what is in your hands at the moment.
Sword and shield both.
All right, so in order to make an unarmed strike, you would have to sheath your sword.
Can do that.
All right.
I can always I can always drop it too and resummon it. That's not a big deal.
Okay, yep. Either way, we will assume then that you drop it since it's easily retrievable for you. And yeah, go ahead and make an unarmed strike. All right, you swing out at him. You do manage to connect. And let's see. All right, so the rules for shove. Oh, yeah, actually, sorry. So you don't technically have to strike him. You just choose to push him. He makes a saving throw. That's right. I always confuse the 2014 rule.
Oh.
So you did push him. Here comes his saving throw to see if he resists your push. He does not. So you do manage to shove him off the limb. He is going to fall down, slamming into the water here.
Runok, got one for you in there.
All right.
Yeah, that'll end my turn.
All right, Runok.
You shouldn't have attacked us. I was just telling a joke. There you go. I'm going to swing my greatsword. Actually, first, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hex on this guy.
Okay. Yep, and of course he landed prone, so you'll have advantage.
Okay. And I am going to swing my greatsword.
Will be at advantage. Go ahead and see if you got a critical. 15 will hit. All
Oh,
right.
I forgot to do my macro, but
Blade carves into the creature, wounding him.
okay. And I will do the extra attack.
Twenty will hit.
And I go, I'm barely making a dent on these guys.
All right, we move to the other creature's turn. Okay, so Glory's currently in the water next to the boat. Grim's still on the boat. Laud's on the boat. He is going to climb down the limbs until the limb starts leaning downwards. Once he gets here, he is going to strike out at Barnaby.
Can I reactive strike?
You can, yep.
I will need a wisdom saving throw as well.
Yeah, 16 will manage to connect. All right, the halberd strikes into the creature, cutting into its furred body. What was your DC on that one, Archgale?
16.
All right, the Spirit Guardians strike into the creature, wounding him as he comes into reach. He is then going to swing out at Barnaby here. I think I've got this fixed up now. All right, so he slashes out with those claws. The 13 is not going to connect with Barnaby. A reminder, he's still 10 feet in the air. He is then going to climb back up the limbs to get higher position. Okay, this guy was commanded to halt, so he just loses a turn. Is that right?
Yes. Well, you can't take actions and bonus actions. Let me double check on movement. I'm pretty sure they can't move either. On its turn, it doesn't move. Yep. So it loses everything. It just loses its turn.
All right, so you don't notice any movement from under the water there. Okay, this guy's turn. He is going to stand up from prone, and then he is going to attack with his claws up at Runok. And yeah, now he's within 5 feet, so he's actually going to make both of his attacks. See, first he makes attack with his claws. 16 on Runok. Looks like that is going to hit.
Yep.
All right, Runak, as these claws tear into you, you notice just how large they are. That is going to be 13 points of damage dealt to you. He is then... Oh, actually, you're also grappled with the claws, and you are restrained, and you have to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay, that will fail the saving throw.
Is it poison?
It is not poison.
Okay.
So this is how it's worded. It is not poison, but it does deal poison damage. So do you have resistance to poison damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll take half this damage. All right, so you'll take 9 points of poison damage. And you now have the poisoned condition.
I think I'm possibly immune to that, but I'm going to double check.
Sure, yep, double
Sounds
check.
poison.
I know.
Poison to me. I can't believe it.
This is literally how it's worded. Must save on a Constitution save against disease. If the saving throw fails, target takes poison damage. Don't ask me. That's the module. All right, so that was a grapple.
Oh, wait. It's against disease?
Yes.
I am immune to disease.
You're
I'm immune to disease.
Okay, if you're
Yep.
immune to disease, then you don't take damage, but you are grappled. So feel free to reward yourself that HP back. He is then going to move. He's got you grappled, so he's taking you with him. You are pretty small. He's pretty big, so he has no problem moving away with you. He's going to get to here.
Oh, jeez. Put me down.
All right, Archgale, it is your turn.
Oh boy. If I move, well, that makes things a little different. I'm gonna go 10, 20 to there. And then I'm going to point at that creature holding Runok and cast Command and tell him to approach.
Okay, it seems as though he fails this save.
Okay. I can't really move anywhere else, so I guess I didn't really need to move, but I'll end my turn.
All right, top of the round, Glory. Glory, sorry, Glory, you're still in the water, correct?
Well, yeah, but I was going to move to get back on the boat.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check as you're trying to navigate into this mucky, murky water and get closer to the boat. Yep, you are able to do so. Still moving at difficult terrain, but you can move freely.
I will bonus action extend rage and dodge.
Okay. Okay, next up is Laud.
All right, I want to try something real fast. I'm going to bring this new token here to see the area. Okay, so I think I can probably position this, and I'm going to actually end up holding my action until the creature that is holding Runok basically moves back close to us as part of that command, and then I'm going to cast slow to try to hit all three of these creatures at the same time.
Okay, so your trigger is when the creature on the southwest ends its turn?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
that makes sense. 'Cause
Okay,
it's got to approach. Yep.
got it.
And that will be my turn.
Are you sure that's going to get all three of them from that spot?
It's a cube. It should. I mean, I can move it. I can move it a little closer. I can move it there because it's going to approach and get closer and get within that. So that, or I guess that would get them all. But that's the idea.
Yeah, I think just visually it didn't look like it would get that gator creature earlier, but that's not my call. So
Yeah, I don't know when it's like gargantuan creatures, like it's the 50% thing. Like how does that work with the AOE?
I mean, for something like slow, I would say it says within range of your choice in a 40-foot cube. I would say as long as half or more of them's in the cube.
Okay, I think this seems fine. I don't want to take too much time, so and I'll end my turn here.
Okay, ready. Ready in action. If an enemy comes within 5 feet of me, I'll strike out with my silvered spear.
All right, Fisherman is still defending. Barnaby.
Adam, I'm going to go ahead and cast Moonbeam. And I'm going to yell out to the heavens, we need to be able to see the creatures better. Is there, on Moonbeam and everything, do you have a...
I do. That one I didn't prep because I wasn't ready for that one, but let me grab something for you
Yeah,
real quick.
I almost sent you a message earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you during the other time.
So remind me the radius on Moonbeam.
I think it's 15 feet. Let me take a look.
Thought it was 5.
Oh, yeah, it's I was 40 feet high. That's why I'm going to focus on this guy here. But 5-foot radius, thanks.
5-foot radius. All right.
Not a spell I was actually thinking I'd be using a bunch of, Adam. But you know, it's I need to be able to get high now. You know, so.
So if it's a 5-foot radius, actually that's even too big.
Yeah, I think that's too big. I think it's more like a 4 square kind of thing.
All right. Okay, so that is now set. Now I'll just ask everybody to be careful because I've got these spell templates where any players can move them. So just be careful if you're moving your tokens about. But go ahead and put that where you would like, pardon me.
Whoops, I'm moving the other token around. Adam, we've got one on the other one, so I'm going to move this here.
I sent the big one to back, so the... Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Yep, sorry. Now, in regards to this, will that there affect him? He's not fully 50%, so...
I would say no. I would say at least half of his square has to be hit by that.
All right, well, I'll just do it that way there.
So I'm going to move it slightly. That would be 50%. You can do that, or you can move it up once and get them totally.
Yeah, that's fine. I wanted to also have an... Yeah. It's not exactly... Yeah, I'm good, though. I'm good. I'm thinking out loud. DC 15 con save.
Okay, it affects immediately. Here comes save. He will fail that saving throw. All right, as the moonbeam appears and the radiant energy strikes down from up above, slinging down to the ground, he is wounded. He's not a shapeshifter, so no effect there. Okay.
Yeah, and as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast Blade Ward on myself. Not Blade Ward, sorry. I'm thinking...
I was going to say, if that's a bonus action, holy moly.
Hey, I tell you, I'm going to take Shield of Faith, though. My apologies for the delay in this.
Can't cast two spells in the same round. You just cast a leveled spell, so you can't take a bonus action leveled spell.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. I'm going to go back to drinking coffee.
All right, Caliban.
So this one down below still has Runok like grappled though, right?
Yes.
I know you just commanded to go back, but he still has him grappled.
He does have him grappled, yes.
I don't want to mess that up. Does it look like I could land somewhere near the other one that's up in the tree?
Yes, but you'd be in the area of the cylinder. You said you can jump 30?
Yeah.
Here's what I will say. Your jump allows you to go distance, but it doesn't allow you to land like perfect, right? It's not like a heat-seeking jump or anything like that. So
Exactly.
what I'll say is if you want to try that, I'm going to ask for an acrobatics check to get there. And basically, if you jump and you miss it, then I'm going to say you miss the limb and you're falling down. But yeah, I would say you can jump far enough with 30 feet to get like on a limb over here.
How about actually instead, it looks like there's a rock sticking out right here. How about that as a landing pad?
You can jump there. Again, you're about, I'm going to say 20 feet in the air right now. Jump doesn't prevent you from taking fall damage, is my understanding. So you can jump there, but you will take fall damage.
Ah, interesting. Okay. How about I climb down said tree? So I'm assuming that's difficult terrain, but I'm assuming that would be...
Well, remind me what's in your hands.
Oh, well, only right now, only my shield.
Okay, so you have a big shield, and you're going to have one hand then to try to climb down a very big tree. It would require an athletics check. If you fail it, you could fall. If you fail it by a little bit, you're just not going to make much progress.
Okay, it's worth a chance. I'll try to get down.
Okay, sure. Go ahead and throw me an athletics check. You kind of scoot to the end, and you do the best you can, kind of falling down, grabbing on your arm. Yeah, so basically what happens here is you kind of drop to your belly, and you grab on with like one arm, and you're kind of dangling. Your feet are kind of hanging there. You can let go if you want to, get to the bottom. It would be a fall, or you can hold on there until next turn.
I'll hold on till next turn. I guess are my hands occupied now?
Your hand is occupied. Yep. You have a shield on one arm, and then your hand is literally holding on to the limb.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let go. Shoot. Yeah, I'll hang on here and end my turn.
All right, you're
get out of the tree next week.
Hanging from the limb there, and your turn ends. We'll move to Runok.
Okay, so I'm grappled.
You are like bear hugged, Runok. Like he slashed his claws into you and it cut into your body. He then pulled you close and he's like squeezing you to his chest.
Okay. I'm going to do a cantrip touch spell.
Okay.
Dark Maw.
Okay, that is an attack roll. So that is at disadvantage because you're currently restrained. That 8 is going to miss.
Oh, I am restrained too. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was trying to figure that out from the grapple because I thought the restraint was from the poison.
No, nope. The grapple
Or the
inflicted
disease.
restrained. Yeah, no, sorry. The disease doesn't have anything to do with restrained.
Okay. So yeah, I can't quite get my jaws like distend a little bit in my from my mouth, but no one else can see it because I'm all swaddled up in here.
Yeah.
But I can't get purchase with them onto its chest. Like, come here, yo! I guess as my bonus action, I will second wind.
Okay.
I'm back, and that's the end of my turn.
All right, from up in the limbs, noticing Laud precast this spell and kind of be focusing, trying to see what he can do, this creature is going to chuck down a scum ball at Laud.
Just for clarity, is it precasting? I thought like the cast didn't take place until like the trigger.
You precast and you're concentrating right away. So if you get hit and you lose the concentration, you lose the spell.
Okay, all right. Good to know.
I'm sorry, Gloria, you were saying something?
Just I was laughing at Scumball, then I saw you roll a crit.
Yes, yes, and Scumball, the text there would say you don't want to know what's in this, right? But yes, it strikes you solidly here, Laud. This is a poison effect, so here comes a poison crit. All right, maximum damage from the normal damage dice. Roll damage again, and the creature's poisoned for the next minute. You get a con save at the end of each of your turns to shake that off. Okay, so max plus a roll. We'll calculate the max. All right, so the roll is 8, and the max would be 22. So you're going to take 30 points of poison damage here, Laud. Let me pull up the rules on Ready. I know this is how it was in 2014. I just want to make sure nothing's changed with 2024. All right, ready action. When you ready a spell, you cast it as normal, expending any resources used to cast it, but hold its energy, which you release with your reaction when the trigger occurs. So yes, you do pre-cast the spell. It's already casted. To be ready, the spell must have a cast time of an action. Holding onto the spell's magic requires concentration, which you can maintain up to the start of your next turn. If your concentration is broken, the spell dissipates without taking effect. So yep, just like I said. So you've taken that damage. Your concentration on this is going to be DC 15 because you took 30 points of damage.
Okay.
All right, you do indeed get smacked with this huge scumball, but somehow you persevere through the nastiness and you still focus on your spell. All right, this guy is currently in a moonbeamed area, so he's going to climb on some limbs and kind of go behind the trunk now, where you can't really get a good line of sight on him. All right, moving over to the giant crocodile. It is going to use the special ability it rolled, which was Steady Aim, to attack at advantage against Grim. The jaws snap right next to your face there, Grim, but don't manage to connect. It is then going to kind of float there in the water. All right, this guy failed to save, so he is going to be forced to move closer. So he will move to, well, actually, he's going to move a little further. All right, so he will move to there and then end his turn. That will trigger.
Is he within my reactive strike?
He is, yeah. That will miss. So you swing out, but do not connect. Okay, so that will trigger your spell, Laud. You cast it. Looks like 2 of the creatures are within your radius. Now, you pre-cast it, but your targeting isn't until right now. So you can move it around where you'd like for targeting purposes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I can move it there. Then, well, that it's 50%, right? So there, I think we get all of them.
Yep, that would target all of them. Yep.
Yep. All right. So I'll do that.
All right, and the only main issue is you have to be able to see where the center of that is, which you clearly can. Yep. So yeah, here comes some saves. So the first one in the top left, he will succeed. The one that currently has Runak grappled will fail. And the giant crocodile will succeed.
Those are all dex saves. It should be wisdom. I don't know if that's going to matter. But
oh, sorry. I read dex save at the thing instead of... Okay, 1 second. So the difference for the big guy is 1. So the wisdom save would have been a 15 and a 13. So I think that affects both of them. For the crocodile, the difference is it would actually be a nat 20 instead of a 19. So he's not affected, but the 2 monkey kind of guys are.
Okay.
All right, I have marked both those guys with slow. We can now remove the slow template, yes? Excellent. Yep. Okay, so that was the end of his turn. That triggered the readied action. Yeah, that's we'll move to Archgale's turn.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw?
All right, wisdom saving throw. He is going to succeed. All right, the Spirit Guardians strike into him, wounding him a bit.
Now, does Command have affect their reaction or affect reaction at all?
I'm not sure what you mean. I can read through the spell real quick. Say what you're trying to do.
Just if I move away, will I provoke an opportunity of attack?
Yes, command has ended. As soon as he ends his turn, command's no longer in effect.
Okay.
You're talking about slow, right? Slow.
No, I'm talking about command.
Well, slow.
Oh, and he can't take a react. Oh,
yeah,
oh,
slow
slow
removes
does that. Okay,
reaction.
okay. Oh, that worked out perfectly. In that case, I'm going to move 5, 10, or sorry, 20 because it's difficult, and then I will cast Lesser Restoration on Lod.
Okay.
Um,
And which condition
believe
are you
that-
at?
the poison.
All right, Lod, you are no longer poisoned.
Okay.
And so let me double check. That is a bonus action. Awesome. And then I guess I will channel Divinity Divine Spark Healing. And that should be affected by that, so I will post the healing here soon. But after that, in my turn.
All right, top of the next round, Glory.
All right, I'm gonna go after the ape creature.
Okay. That will miss. Second attack will connect. Slashes in and wounds him once again.
Polearm strike.
Yes, that will connect as well. Buttressing up
It's my
against
turn.
him. Yeah, so that first one would hit as well with slow, -2 AC, so that would indeed hit. You can roll that damage as well, Glory.
Oh, let me make sure I don't.
Okay, that will wound him as well. All right, next up is Lod.
All right, I'm going to cast Mirror Image on myself, and then I'm going to bonus action Bardic Inspiration on Runok.
Thank you very much.
I got to find all the buttons. And that will end my turn.
Okay, Grim.
All right, I'm going in. 10. Splash.
Jump into the murky water. Give me an athletics check.
Whoops, hold on.
You
I have
struggle.
advantage with that.
You have advantage on athletics checks?
Or maybe it says I'm a remarkable athlete, so there's that.
Okay, so you have advantage on athletics checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, you have no problem. You land in again. Difficult terrain, but no other effects.
I'm gonna keep this guy busy. I'm gonna now, because I don't think my Morning Star is gonna splash through water very well, so I decided to use my ornate silvered spear. Here comes an attack.
That'll connect.
Well done.
All right, standard crit. Go ahead and post your crit damage. All right, you smash in, wounding him.
Now, I have to say it. Can I shield bash him?
It's not going to have any effect because you can't knock him
Okay.
prone. He's swimming.
Okay. Second attack.
You jab forth a second time, connecting once again. Yes, the point of your spear pierces in and wounds him. All right, the fisherman is going to continue dodging as best he can. He's got the pole holded up as sort of a defensive mechanism here. So move to Barnaby.
All right, Adam, on this guy on the bottom here, obviously I know he's holding Runok. So do I see a spot where I could move my moonbeam to a spot that would not also hit Runok?
How far can you move the moonbeam?
60 feet if I use them in action.
Yeah, so if you were to move it where it takes up these 4 squares, I would say you can hit him without hitting Runok.
All right, cool. I got to pay attention to how much I move this, though. So that'll be...
Looks like it's slightly off key. I'm going to put it right there and center it.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that'll trigger for him. 15 on the save. That's Constitution.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just double checking. Okay, so you've used your action to move it. Got it. Okay.
Correct. Yeah,
so,
it used to be a bonus action to move it, I think. So, but now it's an action.
I think it always was an action because it does pretty significant damage. Yeah, he is going to fail that, so go ahead and post damage. All right, the radiant energy strikes in and wounds him.
Okay, so that was 15 for me to move. I'm going to go ahead and just measure for this other one, Adam, because, you know, I'm trying to get the crocodile as well, basically. So. All right, there's no problems with my spacing.
If that was a question, I'm not sure what you're trying to do, so I have no idea.
No, I'm trying to make sure I have the 60 feet to be able to move that over. Because it went down 15 feet and then...
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think you can... Let me read this again. Yeah, you can move it up to 60 feet. So it sounds like what you're trying to do is move it and have it be like a moving death ray that hits everything as you're moving it. I'm not sure that's how it's intended to work. I thought it was you move it and it stops.
It says, no, I'm pretty sure that it does. True form of the... It says a creature also makes a save when the spell area moves into its space or when it enters the space's area. And it ends its turn there. So the way I'm reading it is that...
So again, just the way you're interpreting it would be like if an enemy casts this, they could basically just run this down and hit each one of you guys?
Well, that's the way I'm reading it, but let me know if you don't have the same interpretation, because that's just how I see it.
Yeah, I'm probably calling on past knowledge here. Like, I thought it was just like it appeared where you put it, and then it takes effect. If you're thinking of it sort of as like a moving death ray, I'm okay with that, but I'll just tell you, the enemies are definitely going to take the spell then, because that's going to mess you guys up big time.
Yeah, you could just pass it over the whole party.
Right. That's literally like a moving ray of death. And same with any of these ones that move. If that's how we're going to do it, it becomes a very optimal strategy for the enemies to use. So I'm okay either way. But yeah, I guess I'm probably thinking mostly of like how I've seen it implemented in games, to be honest. It's like you move it to one spot and it just appears in the new spot and takes effect. Like, if it's actually moving and hitting everything as it moves, that to me seems way too powerful for a second level spell.
All right, okay. So I interpret it the other way, but I'll just do it the way that you're interpreting it, and that just makes it easier.
Yeah, let's do that. I will do a double check between sessions to see what I can find. If it is intended to work that way, like I said, I'm okay playing it that way. We'll take a vote on that one, because the enemies will definitely want to take advantage of that.
Fine. I'm going to go ahead and then in that case, Adam, and again, my apologies for... I tried moving this thing. I can't seem to move it because the alligator token, I'm assuming.
So we're going to put it back where it was, over here, right? So that's where you wanted it to be, and striking him.
Yeah, so I went down And so I'll wind up just bringing it down to strike him, and then we'll call it good.
Okay, so I'm going to put it right back here. That's where you left it.
Yeah, and I ended my turn. I'm good. Thanks.
Oh, sorry about that. Missed that. All right, Caliban, it is your turn.
Can I get, I guess, down, maybe another athletics check to get to the bottom of the tree?
So you're currently hanging. Yes, go ahead and throw an athletics check to see if you can manage to kind of, lasso yourself over, grab on, and climb down. You do manage to do so. Difficult terrain, however, so it's going to take you, say, 30 feet to get to the base of this tree.
It's all my feet.
That is all your feet, yes.
Son of a. Okay, I will use my bonus action to summon my sword back. And I'll use my action to cast Blade Ward. And that'll be all I can do.
Okay. Enoch.
We're going to try to break the grapple.
All right, currently grappled by this big creature. Go ahead and give me your choice of athletics or acrobatics.
Let's do acrobatics.
No, he's got a solid grasp on you.
You know what? I'm going to spend my inspiration on that.
Okay, go ahead and burn your inspiration. Reroll. No, unfortunately, he's got you held tight.
Bardic inspiration?
Do you have Bardic Inspiration?
Yeah.
Sure.
Right, Lud?
Yes, you do.
It's a D8, right?
Yes.
All right, with a 17, you do indeed manage to slip underneath his arm, and you are no longer grappled.
That smells terrible in there. Alright. And that's my action to break out, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, well, move back onto the boat. I'll say, get away from me! And that's basically it for me. End my turn.
Okay, we move up to this guy's turn. He is going to swing around some of the limbs, and he is going to chuck down a scumball at Laud once again. That is going to connect as it smashes into Laud.
I'll do the mirror image thing, unless that he's got like blind sight or something.
I don't think so. Let me double check. He does not. Yep, go ahead and roll your mirror image.
One of them passed, so it would hit a mirror image and not me.
Okay, so the mirror image is destroyed. You're going to see he moves back, and unless your passive perception is at least 21, you no longer know where he's at. All right, this guy's turn. He is going to steady aim, bite over Grimm's head at Archgale. So this is going to be an attack at advantage. That is going to hit as his jaws snap into Archgale. You'll take 24 points of piercing damage, and you are now grappled and restrained. So I'm going to move you over to him as he reaches out, grabs you. You're probably more like here because his snout's pretty long.
Since he pulled me in closer, will he take damage or will it be in the AoE?
Well, let's see if you maintain concentration after taking that damage, but yes, he would.
I did. Yep, I rolled the con save.
Oh, my bad. I missed that. Yeah, go ahead and let's see. Wisdom save from him. He will fail that. Go ahead and post your damage. All right, that will indeed wound him. Let's see. Yeah, currently grappled and restrained in the giant crocodile's jaws. He's then going to use his tail to smack at you, Grim. 25. That is going to hit you there, Grim. You take 21 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are knocked prone. So you're knocked off your feet into the water, and you are struggling now in the water as you are prone.
Okay.
All right, over to this guy's turn. See, he is... Oh, right. They get a save to shake off. So the other guy is no longer slowed, the one that already took his turn. See, this one here. He is going to... So he can either... I think he can still move and attack, but half speed, right?
Yes. So half speed, and then either an attack or a bonus action, and then if he does an attack, he only gets he gets no effects from multi-attack. Or I can post it again though.
Yep. All right. So he's going to make an attack once again at Runok. So claws slash out towards you, Runok, but do not connect. They kind of just skate right over your head. He is then going to move. If you have opportunity attacks that you wish to take, you can.
Absolutely.
The halberd will miss. Greatsword will miss. All right, we move up to Archgale's turn.
Let me just check one thing really quickly. I think I have a new little fun thing as a cleric. Yep, here we go.
Can I do my graze?
Does Graze work for opportunity attacks? I don't recall.
It's just if my attack roll misses a creature.
Yeah, I would say that works. Yep. How much Graze?
4.
All right, I've deducted that as you managed to just barely cut into the creature.
Okay. What a tricky little situation I'm in. I guess I'm going to... I don't like being here, but I don't know what else to do. Okay, I guess I'm going to cast Cure Wounds first level on myself.
Okay.
So that is a action. I'll have any bonus actions to cast a spell. I will end my turn.
All right, top of the next round, Glory.
All right. Is this the tip of the boat?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna attack the creature.
Okay. That will miss. Uh, 25 will hit. I was making that other wisdom save for the other person slow. He shook that off as well. All right, that halberd manages to connect, wounding the giant crocodile.
Polearm strike.
That unfortunately will not connect. Okay, Laud.
Okay. I will target this one and take a shot at it with True Strike.
I'm sorry, which one did you say you were targeting?
The one kind of down at the bottom.
Okay, let's see where you are at the moment. Okay. That is going to miss as you aim around your companions, firing that direction. It does not connect.
Okay, and that will be my turn.
Okay, Grim, currently prone in the water, struggling here. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. All right, you can spend half your movement to stand up.
I'll stand up.
All righty, you do so.
And then stab out at him again.
15 will connect. You pierce
I'll strike
into
out
him,
his-
wounding him.
One more time.
Yes, that will connect as well. You will wound him a second time. All right, the fisherman is going to take a defensive position there, as he's been doing. We'll move to Barnaby's turn.
All right, I can't see that guy up north, but I'm going to go ahead and put this right there. I'm sure he'll make his con save, but it makes him feel good. So,
Well, let's
15.
find out. He does indeed make his con save.
all right, he'll still take half of this.
All right, the radiant energy scorches down, burning upon him.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay, Caliban.
Oh, Calvin's just happy to be out of this damn tree. He is going to wants to move over here. Can I try a jump to this square here?
So let's see. Are you currently in water?
I don't know. I climbed out of the tree. I don't know what was at the bottom of the tree.
Let me move this a little bit. Yeah, so you're currently in water. So go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Guess I can just slog over there anyway. Same though.
Maybe. Yes, you are not stuck in the muck. You're able to move freely. So yes, you can either slog or jump, your choice.
It's difficult terrain, right? I guess it's
Yes.
yeah. I guess same thing. That'd be 10, 15. Yeah, fine either way. Oops. Helps if I switch to the right token. There we go. All right. Finally, see if we can do some damage this whole combat. Attack the creature in the water.
Okay. Yes, that will connect.
Which button's not working? Okay. How about that damage button?
All right, your blade slashes down, wounding the creature.
17 as well.
17 will connect as well, and that is going to be enough to slay the giant crocodile.
Nice.
Oh, we eat well tonight. Yeah, I will end my turn there.
Okay, Runok.
Does it look like they're trying to flee, the one on the bottom here?
If you'd like to use your action as insight, you might be able to determine that.
No. And can I not see the other one?
He is hidden from you unless you have a passive perception of 21.
I do not. All right. I'll just blast at the one that's running then. Get out of here, Buster.
Sure, the one you can see. Yeah, go ahead and make your shots.
Sorry, I'm having character sheet issues. 1 second. Okay, that worked. I had to reload it. All right. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, both of those will manage to connect.
They both. I have hacks on this, so.
All right, both Eldritch Blasts stretch out, connecting to the creature and wounding him.
Never grab me again. We don't like it.
All right, from up in the tree, as it is hidden, it is going to make an attack against Laud once again. So this attack will be at advantage. 24 is going to connect. Go ahead and roll your mirror image there, Laud.
All right, it would target one of them and destroy it.
All right. He is then going to move between the limbs once again. And you need a 22 passive perception to see him. Crocodile has been slain. Yes, it turns out, Runak, this guy was indeed trying to flee. And he's going to do that at pretty significant speed. So he's going to be 80 feet off screen through the marsh. Basically means you're going to have a really hard time targeting him. Archgale.
Okay, I assume since I'm no longer restrained, I can try to stand up.
You can. Go ahead and throw me an athletics check.
Good at that.
You find that you are stuck in this swampy water. So as you get dropped, you kind of put your feet down, hit this real muck water, and you feel like you can't move your feet. You are stuck here.
Okay, I'll flail my arms around and say, "Grim Glory, get me back in the boat." Let's see. And
I think that was a
can't see it, so
murloc.
Is there anything else I can do? No. All right, my turn. I guess I will ready. Well, I guess that's an action, huh? The athletics check.
No, that's just that's to see if you are stuck or not. That's not an action.
Okay, despite being stuck, could I still like cast a spell per se?
Yeah, you can cast, you just can't move. You can think of yourself as having a speed of 0 right now.
Okay. In that case, I will ready an action for a firebolt in the case that if I see the creature.
Okay. All right, top of the round, Glory.
All right, I'll try to pick Archgale out of the mud and put him back into the boat right there.
Sure, yep. So you're pretty strong, so I'd say you can grapple him and do just that.
Bonus action, extend my range and return.
Okay, Laud.
All right, so I'll move here on this side of the boat, and then I will use. Can I see the creature that's off screen? I'm assuming he's greater than 80, but can I see him at all?
You cannot. He's through a bunch of different trees and branches and that kind of stuff.
Okay, then I will ready my action to take a shot at True Strike at the one that's in the tree that we know where it is as soon as I can see it.
Okay.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. I'm going to bonus action Adrenaline Rush. So that means I could dash. So 10, 20, 30. And then I get some temp, I think. 3 temp. Okay. Then I'm going to action take off my shield.
Okay.
Do I see the foul beast yet?
No.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to climb the tree to find the foul beast with my movement.
All right. So how much movement do you have left right now?
All of it, because I bonus action dashed.
All right. So you're going to have to move 10 in the water, then get to the tree. Throw me an athletics check as you attempt to climb up the tree. All right, you managed to do so. You're moving at half speed. You climb up 10, 20. So you spent 30 feet of movement. You're like 20 feet up on the side of the tree at this point.
Do I smell the little shit?
No, and he's like twice your size, so no.
I don't see him either.
Not unless you have a passive perception of 22, I think it was this time.
Well, it's gonna have to be until I bump into him then. He's gotta be in this effing tree! Okay, so that's movement, action, bonus action. Second bonus action, I'm going to Misty Step to him. Never mind.
I was going to say second bonus action. That's new to me. Fisherman is going to continue dodging. Move to Barnaby.
Adam, anything's possible in the 2024 version, so maybe there's the second bonus action.
You never know. It could be.
Hey, for this here, Adam, so obviously I know where he is, but I don't want to play on that, so...
Actually, you don't know where he is, because where his token is doesn't mean that's where he is. I just didn't bother moving it since no one can see him.
Okay, I'm just saying Bill knows where he is on the map, not Barnaby, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if you want to pick that space and put your moonbeam there, feel free.
Well, I don't want to play on knowledge or anything like that. Would it be okay if what I'll do then is I'll just go ahead and save my action to move the moonbeam once I see an enemy within the space that I can move within 60 feet of where the moonbeam is, because I can move that for 60.
So you're readying an action that if you see an enemy, you're going to move the moonbeam.
As long as it's within the 60 feet. So the first enemy within 60 feet of the moonbeam that I have currently up and ready.
Sure, yep, that works. Okay, Caliban.
Caliban's going to try to get back on the boat, so I slog through. Do I do another athletics check as I slog through?
Yes, at the beginning of your turn, athletics check to see how well you do navigating the swampy, mucky waters.
I'm getting it figured out.
Yeah, no problems.
So that would be 10, 15, or is that 10, 20, sorry.
Yes, it is difficult terrain. Yeah.
That's just me not knowing how to count. And then, is there room for me to pull myself into the boat, or I need Archgill to shuffle over next turn, maybe?
How much speed do you have left?
Just 10.
You could pull yourself in the boat. You'd just be at the ground, like at Archgill's feet.
That's a good point, Log. Can I jump? I still have 10 feet left, so I could do a jump and find an empty spot in the boat.
Sure, yeah, you could jump your 10 feet.
All right. Jump up through the water, probably trailing mucky black goo across Archgale as I jump over him and land in the boat. And I will take the dodge action. Yeah, my turn.
Okay, Runak.
Your friend left. You should do the same. All right, get out of here. And I'm gonna hold Eldritch Blast, so if I see the bad guy, it blasts him.
Okay.
The one that's hiding.
All right, this one is going to nimbly navigate through the tree until he gets to where poor Grim is, who's currently clinging, very defenseless against the limb, and he is going to attack you twice here, Grim. Nobody sees him quite yet. So first he's going to attack you with claws. These will be at advantage since you're clinging to the side of the tree, can't really defend yourself. That is going to critically hit you.
He's up here at about 25 feet, right on the fucking thing. How's that?
That was pretty close. Yeah, that's like spot on. So this is going to be... I'm pretty sure that is piercing damage. Yeah, that is a piercing icon. Here comes piercing crit. All right, punctured. Maximum amount of damage from normal dice and then roll. So we're going to determine his max, and then we're going to add that to the roll. All right, so he rolled 17, and his max is 34. So that's going to do 51 points of damage to you, Graham.
Okay.
And you are grappled and restrained. So he basically grasps his claws into you, pulls you off of the tree as he has you solid, and then he's going to bite you. 25 is going to hit for 16 points of damage. And I need you to
So
make...
you said it was 51 points of damage, right?
And then 16, yep.
Okay, so I'm falling from the tree.
No, he's got you grappled.
Okay, then
So have you deducted the full amount of HP? Okay, so you're at 0?
yeah, yes.
Okay, so he's got you in his
I'm at 1. I'm sorry, I'm at 1. I'm an orc.
So okay, so you're going to use your orc ability to stay at 1. So post exactly how that works. I think it says instead of going to 0, you just go to 1, right?
Yeah, let me double check. Where's my orc thing? Where's like the...
Okay, so you've burned this usage. You can't do so again until you get a long rest. You have 1 HP. However, I do need you to go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
All right, you will succeed on this save. Because you succeeded, you don't take the lingering effects, but you do take the damage, half of this damage. So that would be 5 points of poison damage. That's going to drop you to 0.
Yes.
Okay, folks, now those of you in the boat who have readied actions, who are looking very carefully, you notice suddenly Grim gets yanked off the tree and snacked upon. You can take your readied attacks. Let's see.
Adam.
17 is going to miss. 20 will hit. 14 will miss. All right, and that was a crossbow shot. Is that right, Laud?
Yeah, it's the crossbow, it was true strike, so it's the 7 plus the 2, so 9.
All right, so the beam of light around the bolts flies out, does indeed strike into the creature. Let's see. I think I got everybody there. Let's see. Barnaby, did you have a question there?
Yeah, so I moved it over. Now, obviously, Moonbeam gives light, so I don't know if that helps everybody see this creature at all.
It will for a second, but it's still his turn, so he's going to move after this, so it won't really matter.
Right. Fair enough. Okay.
So you're putting it on him, and again, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you can angle it in a way to not hit Grim, right? For the moment, at least. So that hits the creature. He'll make a con save. He will fail that con save. Go ahead and post damage.
Sorry, I was on the wrong page. Do you see it, Adam?
Oh, sorry. Yep, I do see it now. All right, so the 7 points of damage. Okay, so that will wound him. Then he's going to move, and as he's moving with Grim in his hands, that's going to put Grim into the moonbeam as he's moving to the back of the side of the tree. So that would be a con save. It doesn't really matter. Grim, you're going to take some kind of damage from that. So you will take 1 failed death save.
Copy.
All right, then he moves to the back of the tree, and he is going to hide once again. You're going to need a passive perception of 12 to be able to spot him. All right.
How does it work with Grim? Can we see Grim, or is he also invisible?
So it's not invisible, but you can think of him as moving through the trees, and there's all these limbs and vines and all that stuff. So it's kind of more like camouflage, where like as he moves, you suddenly lose track of him. And your eyes can't pick him out any longer. So if your perception is under 12, he's just blending in with stuff, and you can't see him. If it's 12 or higher, you can make out the creature. As far as being able to see Grim, I'm going to say that's actually a higher DC because he's got his back to the tree and basically Grim's in front of him, right? So where you guys are at, you're looking at the creature's back. So I guess what I'll say is if you're going to take an action that you're going to try to target Grim, I'm going to ask for a DC 15 perception. It won't cost you an action or anything, but that's just to see if you can spot Grim.
Got it.
Can I see Grim with my passive perception of 18?
I'm going to ask you to make an active perception here. It's not going to cost your
Okay.
action, but just to see if you can spot it, because it's all kind of happening real quickly. Yes, you can spot Grim kind of dangling there lifeless.
Okay, I'll Oh,
Hey, unconscious. Unconscious.
wait.
Flavor text.
Hey, I can fix. I can fix lifeless too now. We're all good. I need to decide what is going to heal more. What's your? I guess I doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to channel divinity. Preserve life. On Grim.
Okay. So how many? So 30 points. Grim, you can only go up to half, I believe it is. But go ahead and give yourself
Yep.
as much of that as you can take.
Yeah, I can take it all up. 69 is my max.
All right. So that will get you at
Nice.
30
Nice.
HP, and then you will take 1 level of exhaustion.
Copy.
All right. Anything else on your turn,
That's
Archgale?
yeah. That's my action. For my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word at the 2nd level. And here's something really fun that I have. I will actually heal myself a little bit with this.
Nice.
Okay. So here's that healing coming out. That's what you get. Now my turn.
All right. Top of the round, Glory.
Wait,
All right,
who gets the
I
extra
know.
one? I'm sorry, I missed that. I was reading something.
I get it because I'm
You
healing
get it.
you.
Oh, copy that.
So you get the 19, Grim. He gets his extra.
Something out of the boat.
All right. You jump into the water here, Glory. Go ahead and give me an athletics check. 15. Yep, that's enough to make you able to move through just at difficult terrain.
30 feet up to there. Am I in range of the creature?
No, he's like 30 feet over your head.
Is there somewhere where I think I can get to range of him and be on like a branch or something?
You would have to climb. So think of it again as like a wide base of a trunk that goes up at least 20 feet before there are branches. So you would have to climb up 20 feet to then get to like the network of branches and start like nimbly moving around. But yeah, you could do that.
All right, I'll action dash bonus action extend my rage.
Okay, and you're trying to climb up the tree. Is that what I'm guessing?
Yeah, to within 10 feet of him,
Okay,
where I can strike him.
so go ahead and throw me an athletics check. Okay, so you've climbed up the tree 15 feet. So you're still like 15 feet away from him at the moment, but you're making progress. All right, you said extend rage. Anything else in your turn, Glory?
So I had another 10 feet for my regular movement. Does that help anything?
So you sure. So you can climb another 5 because you're climbing at difficult terrain, but you already used your action to dash, right? So you don't have an action left.
Correct.
Okay, so we'll assume you're now 10 feet away from him.
Okay. Yep. And my turn.
Okay, Laud.
Okay, so you said it was like a free perception check to see if we can see Grim, or can we just see him now that he's like?
No, you have to roll to see if you can spot him. But again, obviously only roll if you're trying to do something that targets Grim.
Yep. Okay. So.
So
Try
yes,
to target.
you can spot
Okay.
Grim.
I will bardic inspiration to Grim.
They got my back. I can feel it.
And then I'm guessing would it be an action to try to see the creature?
No, he rolled his stealth check, and so the number I think was 13 or 12. If you have a passive
12.
at least that, then you can see him.
Okay. Then I will do command. Because he's up in the tree, right? So he's probably not within 30 feet of me.
He's 40 feet up from the ground. So yeah, he'd be 40 feet from you.
Okay, then I'll just take a shot with True Shriek.
Okay. Yes, that will connect. All right, that shot strikes into the creature, wounding it.
And that was the Bardic Inspiration that I gave to Grim, and that will be my turn.
All right, and then just to clarify, with Bardic Inspiration, you don't even have to see them. They just have to be able to hear you. So yeah, that would have worked regardless. Grim.
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
Okay. I'm grappled and restrained is the last I heard. Is that correct?
That is correct. You're being clutched like a monkey hug right to him.
Well, I don't like that, you nasty beast. How do I get out of this?
So you can try to break the grapple as an action. What I will say is he's currently hanging from a limb, one arm, and he's got you in the other. So if you break free, there's a good chance you're going to fall.
But if I'm restrained, I can't attack either, right?
You can attack at disadvantage.
Okay. Fine. This is what I saved my action surge for, you little monkey man.
So an 11 will miss. Right, weren't you swinging with a spear?
Oh my god.
No, I sheathed my spear, and so then it's a free action to sheathe my Morning Star.
I don't remember hearing that, but that's fine. We'll assume somehow you did that jumble. But yes, both attacks are going to miss.
I did action, doff my shield, free action, sheath the spear.
Okay, I heard the doff shield. I missed the sheath the spear.
Okay, all right. So yeah, that's pretty cool, right? Okay, action surge. Just try it again. Let's see if we could flip these numbers around a little bit. Action surge.
All right.
Okay.
You actually need a crit on both. Oh, dude!
Oh my
my goodness.
19 will hit.
What is happening?
The only time you could roll 3 crits in a row.
And only one of them
And they don't
counts.
count.
None of them really counts. But... All right, you do manage at this awkward position. You bash him and draw some blood through that thick mat of hair. 7 will miss.
This little bonus action. Guess what? Is going to be what is it? Heal myself. What is that? Second wind. I'll end my turn.
All right, the fisherman continues to dodge and move to Barnaby.
All right, well, he decided he didn't want to fall, but he may not have that option. I'm going to command, and I'm going to, if successful, I'm going to tell him to drop.
So you're cast. Oh my goodness, we have 3 characters that have command in this group. Holy shit. Okay, so command on the creature and ask him to drop. All right. All right, here we go. He will fail that save. And
Well, paladins don't have many great. They have blast and they have a couple good spells, but they don't have. I needed something for distance. You know what I mean? So.
All right, so it drops whatever it's holding, then it ends its turn. Yeah, so he is going to drop you, Grim. You're going to fall the 40 feet. And
Well, on his turn, it's not his turn though.
Oh, it doesn't take effect until his turn. Okay, gotcha.
It
All
may
right.
not take effect. It may
I'm
not
prepared
matter,
though. I'm going to engage my core. I'm ready.
You're not really sure what he's doing right now. He looks like he's just hugging you. All right, Caliban.
I guess I'll take the attempt to see if I can see either of them from here. I was gonna say I jump. Right now, I have no idea where I'm jumping to. So
your passive perception is 11, which means you do not see the creature. If you're looking to try to find Grim, you can roll a perception check, but that's only if you're trying to target Grim with something.
okay, new plan. Can I see a clear line of sight over to the square over here?
Yeah, I would say so. You can kind of jump under the hanging vines and stuff.
Okay, I'm going to try doing that. I think we can go 30 feet to there, yeah.
Sure, yeah, that'll work.
Okay, and so that leaves me with 20, so 5, 10, 15, 20. I see some sort of scary moonlight here, which I'm not going to step into. I guess I still can't see anything from here, though, can I? It's still all just vines, and I can hear sounds of fighting, but can't see either of them.
Exactly. Yep. So again, think of it as like camouflage. You're looking for any signs of movement, but all you're seeing is like swaying vines and maybe some branches kind of moving with the wind, but you can't spot this creature or Grim.
Okay, I will ready my action if the creature comes into my range, but
To do what?
actually, good point. I'll just take the dodge action and end my turn.
Okay, you are dodging. Move to Runok.
Come on, Grim, get out of there. We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. And
They're holding us up.
I found him! I found him!
Runok is going to just ready Eldritch Blast again if he sees the creature.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right.
Oh, never mind.
So the creature will drop Grim. Grim, you're going to fall the 40 feet, and I'm seeing some dangerous stuff potentially down there. So Grim, give me a, I'm going to say 1 in 6 chance that you land right on that tree and take some extra damage. Roll 1d6. You just don't want a 1. All right, you do not. You're going to land, I'm going to say it's 6. You're going to land on the ground there. So you will take 19 points of bludgeoning damage as you slam into the ground. You are knocked prone. The creature then ends its turn. It is no longer hiding, so now everybody can see it. So if you had a readied action, you can take it right now. Those will both miss.
Okay, I'm going to firebolt at the creature.
Okay. Yes, that will manage to narrowly miss the various limbs and branches and smack into the creature. That will scorch his fur, burning him.
Okay. I will end my turn.
All right, move to Glory. Glory, you are 10 feet away from the creature. You're clinging onto the tree, right, in order to be there.
Yeah, on attack.
And you're trying to attack with your halberd.
Yeah, is that possible?
You can sure
Or do
try.
I?
What that means is you're
If
taking
I can-
both hands off the tree and you're trying to swing a very heavy pull in an awkward direction. Would you like to try that?
Is there a way I could get to a better position where I can use this weapon?
Sure. Give me an athletics check to see if you can climb up higher and then stand somewhere. If you can, you're still going to have to then try to balance and not fall. Okay, so you are still raging, right? So this is at advantage. So yes, we'll say you climb another... You spend 20 feet of movement. You're climbing up. You're basically on the same limb as he is now. It's a pretty thick, long limb. So you can kind of stand, and you have to put one foot in front of the other, and then you're trying to swing with the halberd. Again, that's a big shift in your weight. So go ahead and give me an acrobatics check. All right, so you put one foot in front of the other, and then you take your halberd and you try to bring it down in this sort of slashing motion. That's a dex save, not acrobatics. So you are going to fall, Glory. So you're off balance. You fall off this limb, falling the 40 feet. Go ahead and throw me a 1d6. All right, same thing. You're going to land right on top of Grim, actually. So you are going to take 9 points of fall damage, and then Grim, you're going to take half of that as Glory comes smashing down into you. All right, so you would be considered prone, Glory. You're now 40 feet down in the ground, feeling a bit woozy here. Anything else?
I guess that was my actions, right?
Yes, essentially you tried to use an action and fell, so technically you would still have your action, I would say, but yeah, you're 40 feet down on the ground.
Can I use my action or anything to
Yeah.
stand up?
So you need half your movement. Let's see. If you want to use dash, you could stand up.
Okay, I'll dash, stand up, and I'll bonus action extend my range.
Okay. Okay, Laud.
All right, so I'm going to use my lucky feat to give myself advantage, and then I'm going to take a shot at it with True Strike.
Okay. Sure
Boom.
enough, gets right through those
Nice.
limbs, striking true. Let's get how much damage. Go ahead and post a radiant crit. We don't see those very often.
Find the thing.
That was a different way of posting it, but that works as well.
Whatever, yeah.
Maximum amount of damage from normal, and then roll your dice. Okay, so you rolled. Yeah, so I can just tell you, he is totally dead. So that is going to strike him probably right in the throat. He takes a hit, falls off, lands smashing into the water, probably right on top of Grim and Glor. No, I'm kidding. He will just land in the water. He is dead. All right,
Hey,
guys. Woo, we are out of that battle.
All right, Grim's still in a rage. He's gonna walk over and start slamming my Morning Star right in his chest and face because we're in a gruesome campaign, so I'm bringing gruesome on my side too.
You're slamming your Morningstar into your face? Is that what you said?
No, and this guy's face.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. All right.
Over and over and over.
Don't
Uh,
ruin the meat.
Is the big crocodile
Tenderizing.
thing still there?
Yeah, it would be essentially half floating, half submerged.
I would want to, if we can, like try to kind of grab it and like see if we can, cut open its stomach and see if there's anything like that it's eaten. Like maybe over the years, maybe it's eaten some adventures and found some gear is stuck in there.
So again, just based on the size, this thing is absolutely massive, right? It is probably comparable in size to like some dragons. So when you say cut it open, this is probably going to be like a 8-hour ordeal to fully explore the contents of its stomach. You could if you like, but it's certainly a task.
Okay, if we don't have time to do it, then I guess not. But
Up to you if you want to make the time. I mean, you guys are kind of moving through the marshlands at this point, trying to make your way to Haldromos. If you want to, maybe talk to your companions, see if you guys want to break for a bit and do that, you could always attempt it. But yeah, just want to make sure it's not like a quick thing.
okay, yeah. I mean, I'll bring that up to the group. Hey, there might be some stuff inside. These things tend to eat passing creatures.
What could we get done in an hour or two?
Working together, I think we could probably get a lot.
I think even if we don't get in, it's worth it to doing because he might be good eating, and that leather could be worth something too if we can skin him a bit. It could be worth it.
So is anybody here proficient in nature?
I am.
Yes.
If you're proficient in nature, go ahead and throw me a nature check here as this plan's kind of being circulated to see if anything comes to mind.
Hey, Adam, that's
Nope.
like the second time I actually got to roll a nature check this campaign.
I try to put
Can I
them in
use
there.
my bardic inspiration on that?
Sure can. Yeah, go ahead and throw that. Okay, with an 18, what you know, Glory, is that the digestive juices inside giant crocodile stomachs are incredibly potent, and they would most likely dissolve anything that it had swallowed unless it was really, really recent.
You're unlikely to find anything in that stomach. Unless it's fed recently. But it seemed hungry.
Oh, good to know.
I'd like to ask our captain or tour guide, whatever you want to call him, if these creatures common here.
You see, now that the battle is over, he kind of returns to his standing upright, and he has the pole in the water, trying to make sure the skiff's not moving with the rotation that you guys have done, moving about the boat and so forth. As you ask this question, you see he looks towards you and just kind of gives you a timid nod.
Must be dangerous. What do you call those ape-looking creatures?
Oh, I thought you meant the giant crocodile. You meant the big hairy ones. Not as common, but yes, I've heard about them before. I know they got an official name for them in Haldromos, but we just usually call them ape men.
Interesting.
Well, quick question: have you ever tried eating one of these giant alligators things, crocodiles?
He'll nod again. Yes, every now and again, a fisherman gets caught in one, and if it doesn't kill the fisherman, usually with big harpoons, they can take one of these down, and yeah, usually the whole village eats for a week.
Oh, so it tastes good.
You cook it right and use the right spices and all that. Oh, it's juicy. Nom nom.
But what about without any of that stuff and just raw?
You see, kind of like squeamishly, like, ugh, just looks at you. Raw? No, not up here. We don't eat raw like that.
Well, maybe we should take a quick rest and grab some, and then get moving.
All right, group, is that the plan? You guys want to kind of disembark from the skiff here, go to shore, and take a little bit of a rest?
Well, my only concern is one of them got away.
True. Maybe we should move. We can recuperate on the boat. Maybe find a little safer spot.
Yeah, not where we just fought them. You know what I mean? Because the, I don't know anything about these guys, but what if there's two? That means they work together in groups. What if there's a bigger group?
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right, sounds like the decision then is to get onto the skiff and continue moving. All right, let's bring you guys back over to the overland map for this region. All right, as a reminder, the silver dragon icon is what is representing your group at this point as you're moving through this area. You guys encountered this creature here. You continue moving north-ish, making your way to Haldromos. And we will go ahead and pause here, folks, for our 15-minute break and pick up on the other side.
Good job.
All right, we're back on the second half of our session. Team, you guys are still moving on the skiff with the fishermen, making your way up to Haldromos. You guys are moving through these very wetlands, these marshes, very nasty areas in some places. So you're seeing a lot of like vines and lily pads and areas that are just like kind of mucky. You get a little bit stuck, have to push off, move a little bit more. You're kind of navigating this way for a bit. In fact, you're navigating this way for several hours, and it's starting to get later at night. You're noticing the sun is descending pretty quickly. The fisherman at the back, you see he looks to you guys and he says, do you want me to try to find somewhere that's solid ground to rest throughout the night, or do you want to pull an all-nighter?
What do you recommend? You know the area the best.
You see he yawns a bit. I honestly think we should try to push through. It'd be a little much, but just there's a lot of things out here that you don't want to not be able to see them when they're coming at you.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I think we want to not be ambushed. There's a lot of jungle predators and stuff out here.
Feels
Can I
like every
take a
time we
short rest as we're traveling, Adam?
Yep, yeah, you guys all could have taken a short rest if you want.
Feels like every time I take my armor off, we get attacked.
While that's going on, if we're all short resting, I'll do the inspiring leader to grant everybody 10 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Or I guess it's all but one. So I think we've been having it be everybody but Caliban because he can use his false life.
Yeah, I still have it. That's good. Thanks.
All right, so you guys continue pushing through with the fisherman doing the best he can to navigate. You will notice that he has this small lantern, and he gets that lit, and he asks Grim, as you're sort of at the front of the skiff, to hold that up bright and allow people to, get a little bit of better visibility. Any complaints with that?
Nope, I failed my D20 test if I could shake exhaustion. I rolled an 8. Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, I'll hold the lamp. Is it a
Oh,
con or is this a D20? I'm sorry.
it's a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
Well, you rolled an 8. What's your con bonus?
Con's a 7. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
save plus 7.
Then you're all set. You shook it off.
Thank you.
All right, so you're holding this lantern, and it's pretty bright. You notice as you're holding this lantern, and because it's pretty bright, perhaps it's kind of throwing your vision off a little bit. You're kind of used to looking in the dark here, Grim, but with this really bright light right in your face, it makes it a little bit more challenging. And perhaps that's why this other thing gets close enough to your boat before you really spot it really well. All right, you might be able to see this, Grim, with your extended vision.
Oh. There's like a military boat coming our way.
Oh no. Is it the Imperial military?
Yeah, what's that about?
Bunch of buff, hot-looking girls.
Quick, let's pull over to the land.
As the boat continues moving, you hear a shout from the front. Identify yourself, travelers!
I am Grim of Gristle, here with a group. We are peacefully passing through.
Passing through to where?
Holdermoose.
You notice their skiff continues moving forward. For what purpose do you wish to visit Haldramoose?
For the purpose of returning property to the Sisters of Glory.
What's her name, Archie? Fucking.
Whose name? I don't have anyone's name written down.
We have property to return to the Shield Maiden Sisters of Holdermoose.
Adeline?
But
No,
Jagoda
referring
did
to-
send us as well.
I'm referring to the shield and sword.
You notice their
shield-
vessel continues getting closer, and then you see one of them in the back who has a pole similar to your pilot here, kind of sticks it down, and the skiff kind of starts slowing. The one at the front stands up now and puts a metal boot onto the tip of her vessel, and you see she narrows her eyes as she's looking at all of you. Well, speak up now. What are you returning?
Hold up the shield.
Yeah, so, hey, Callie. Read the shield.
Oh, yep, I got it. And Kelly pulls out the shield and lays the sword across it, and sort of wiggles his way to the front of the boat awkwardly. We found these in the nest of some reavers under some skins that they had. We killed the reavers, cleared out the cave, but unfortunately, it looks like one of your brethren were lost.
You notice she looks
Sister-
again at the items that you're holding, and she says, "Those look like good quality, but I can't say I recognize them immediately."
Sister Dakota sent us from the Sisters of Sif, said you guys were friendly to the cause, if you know what I mean.
Grim, hold that
What?
light over here so I can read the name. I can't read the name on the back of the shield. What
Okay,
was
hold
the-
on a sec.
Caliban tries to squint down. What was the name on the back of the shield?
Did anybody write it down?
Oh God, I assumed I could just read it again.
You look, yeah, of course you can. I was
yeah,
just trying to give anybody a chance if they had to write it
Oh.
down.
I found it by searching the chat. But I wasn't here, so it's Rangrid Iron Eyes.
That is indeed what it says, yes.
Rangrid? Rangrid? Am I saying that right? Rangrid? Rangrid?
Yep.
Iron Eyes.
You'll notice the one at the front, she seems to soften a little bit as she looks back, and you hear her speak in a language which none of you understand. And then she turns back and looks at you all, and she says, "Follow us. Stay close. Don't get lost in the marshes."
We will. Lead on.
All right.
Well.
You notice the vessel, they kind of push backwards using the pole to give themselves some distance, and then start awkwardly making this very slow turn to be pointed back to the east and continue moving. All right, guys, I'm going to throw you back on the overland map for a moment as you continue traveling with these. Again, you guys could... I'm going to say history check here if you're proficient to try to recognize what these individuals are.
I'll put my inspiration on that.
Okay. So as far as the species, you can tell that these are what are known as trollkin. So they're very hardy warriors. They're obviously humanoids. They're pretty famous for having regeneration, much like true trolls, though they're smaller and fierce warriors, and generally speaking. All right, you guys continue traveling through the night, spending another probably 6 hours on this vessel. Maybe some of you guys are kind of dozing off here and then just kind of shaking awake. But after a bit of time, you find yourself up, getting closer and closer to what looks like a city built on stilts. All right, and as you get to the city built on stilts, it looks unnaturally dark. Like, it's just, man, it's so dark here. That's kind of crazy. But then the GM turns off the dynamic lighting and you see it. Looks, yeah, like a city on stilts. All right, so as you guys arrive, you can think of this as sort of like you're kind of pulling in sort of like this way, getting up closer to one of these docks, you know, being let off at this point. The fisherman will make sure you guys are all set because he's going to rest here a bit, and then he plans to get back to Marsh Hollow as soon as he can. So most likely in the morning, which is only a few hours away at this point. Is there any last minute arrangements you're trying to make with him?
Yeah, don't we need to get back?
Well, I don't think we're going back.
We don't know where we're gonna go after this, right?
Yeah, we might be able to get another ride from here. Assume the people in the city have capability of transportation.
Adam, I'm assuming that we see other boats in the water as well, just because of the environment.
You do. Most of them are tied off and tied up against like the wooden, buildings or like the decks, the docks, those kind of things. You don't see anybody necessarily in one of them right now, but again, you're getting here kind of in the wee morning hours, probably like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, something like that when you guys roll up.
I will throw a gold piece to the fisherman as a tip. Hey, thanks for getting us through there. I know it was a little dangerous and you got us through the night too, so here's a little bit extra.
He takes the gold piece with his thanks and he raises his head, holding it up towards you. You'll see he gives a yawn. He says, I'm happy to have gotten you here. I'm going to try to find a place to get some quick shut-eye and make the trip back. I wish you the best on your further travails.
Thank you very much, good sir.
Appreciate your service. Be safe on the way back. And gives him sort of the old forearm clasp. And I think Caliban would give him a gold as well.
He will take your gold as well, very happily. All right, so with the fisherman handled, he's going to make his own arrangements here. These women warriors are going to escort you guys down one of these various docks. As you can think of it kind of as like doing one of these deals and then looping around, kind of coming back like this. You're going to see you guys got to go to this spot, which there's what you would deem to be a longhouse. So probably longer than what you're noticing on the map here. These you can think of more as like the residential areas, maybe some shops, that kind of thing. But once you get more kind of in like the back areas of the town, you can see some of the buildings are larger. One of the central buildings, which is much longer, which deem it the longhouse, they escort you in that direction. They will ask you to wait outside the door for a moment, as most of the women warriors will wait here with you. One of them heads on inside, and it's about 10 minutes later before that individual comes back, and she asks you to enter the longhouse.
Of course.
Yes.
All right, you guys are ushered into the longhouse, and you can see, again, it is very early in the morning. Everything's pretty dark. As you arrive inside, you can see that there is kind of a skeleton crew to receive you at this point. Almost all of them look very similar to the women warriors that you spotted and who escorted you here. However, you notice as you enter this one particular room in the longhouse, you can see that many of these women kind of look at you guys cautiously. But at the end of the aisle in this room, upon a raised platform, sit 2 carved wooden thrones. The one on the right, carved of dark bog oak and adorned with ravens, is empty. The left throne is carved of white ash and adorned with swans. A statuesque, elf-marked woman sits in the white throne wearing a gown of moss green trimmed with silver thread. Her long hair, so blonde as to be nearly white, is pulled into a braid that spills over one shoulder. A thin white scar divides the right side of her face. The angle of the strike that left it spared her eye, though the scar pulls down the corner somewhat, making her look sleepy. You can see a spear of ashwood with bright polished head of silver steel leans against the side of the throne.
Do any of the images or icons look religious in nature? Like the swan or the raven?
Give me a religion check. Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing jumps out about it to you. The woman sitting in the chair will look towards you and she says, "Greetings, greetings. I am Queen Thorgood. You've arrived very early."
Yeah, sorry about that. We ran into some ape trouble on the way here, but we came here in haste to return some property that we found that we wanted to make sure it got to the right place. As a fellow warrior, I understand the importance of this. Callie, sure.
Yes. We, as I said, we found this with some reavers. There's no body that we could find, I'm afraid, but the instructions were very clear. He sort of leans down to show the sword and shield.
So you're not quite close to the queen. You'll notice she's kind of sitting at a distance. But as you mentioned that you have this, you see she moves a finger. You can see one of those women that escorted you here will move over and like hold her hands out to take the sword and shield from you.
You said we're early. Do you mean you were expecting us, or that it's early in the morning?
She gives you a soft smile and she says, "I mean that it is quite early in the morning. I was awoken of a sound sleep to attend to you."
Apologies. We're here on urgent business.
I understand. I hope the urgency of that business can wait at least until the morning.
Well, we're running on a tight schedule, but maybe.
Think a few hours wouldn't hurt.
Really quickly, was this one day after we arrived? Like, I guess one moon cycle after?
It would have basically taken you a little over a day. So think of this as being like 12 hours of travel to go from Marsh Hollow to Haldremos.
I'm going to put here on my notes 16 days for new moon now.
Okay.
We might need some accommodations, Your Highness.
She nods slowly. She says, "That's exactly what I was going to propose. I thank you very much for returning the sword and shield. We will definitely take a closer look at this in the morning. If it is the possessions of who I think it is both an honor that you have returned them and sad that they had to be returned. But yes, perhaps we shall reconvene in the morning. I will have the soldiers here find you appropriate quarters, and then we will speak again when the sun has risen.
Thank you.
Thank
She stands from her throne pretty quickly and gives a nod, and you see the women warriors around you kind of turn you about and face you out the other direction and start ushering you out this longhouse and into different nearby areas. So from a timing perspective, you guys are taken to quarters. You can assume nothing fancy here. You can think of this almost as like barrack style quarters. So you're taken into one of these houses and there's various bunks built into the side of the wall. It looks like this barracks could probably hold 24 soldiers, though at the moment there doesn't seem to be any soldiers in it. The soldiers that escort you here say you're free to use these quarters until the morning, and then they will come retrieve you. You notice the one kind of starts walking to the door, and then she turns back and she says, "Don't go exploring in the night. Do I have your word?"
Absolutely. I do as I told when I'm visiting a nice barracks like this. So see you in the morning.
I'm too tired to explore.
That is good. Get your rest.
What time should we expect? How long might we slumber?
You see she kind of looks out the doorway out to the night, and she looks back towards you and says, "Perhaps 4 hours or so we'll be here to collect you."
Understood. Thank you.
And with that, she departs, closing the door behind her, and you get the impression, not necessarily that she's locked it, but you certainly get the impression that it's well closed. Let's put it that way. All right. Anything special you guys do in here in the barracks?
It's just all of us, right? The 7 of us.
Yes, just the 7 of you.
Okay, Archie, just real quick, a 5-minute recap. These are friends of the shield maidens of Sith, right? So we're all on the same page, right?
As far as I know.
Because Jagoda said we could trust these people, right?
That is what she said.
All right, I'm going to bed.
Same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am going to cast my hut, though, in case something happens.
All
as
right.
a ritual.
You conjure a tiny hut inside of the barracks. It's a little bit messy. You have to kind of move things around to make sure when the hut springs into existence, it doesn't destroy stuff. But you spend a bit of time doing that and finding like an open area in the center to do so. And yeah, you conjure it up. Is there anybody else that's trying to be in the center of the hut with Laud, or are you just sleeping in the bunks?
I'll be in
I'll
the
just
bunks.
sleep in the bunks.
I'll be in the hut.
Bunks.
Okay, the hut for me.
All right, 3 hut and 4 bunks is what I heard. So pretty well split up there in the barracks house. But yeah, much as expected, the 4 hours of you guys sleeping is uneventful. You guys managed to catch some winks, right? But not a full long rest, unfortunately. So it is pretty early in the morning when you are awoken. The door is open. One of these women warriors walks inside, and you'll see she kind of looks and gets a little bit of an angry look on her face, noting this translucent or transparent, I guess, hut in the center of the barracks. She looks at the rest of you that are sleeping, and she says, "Am I to assume the rest of your party is inside that thing?"
Oh, yeah, it's a new thing he invented, and so he likes using it.
He's testing a new spell. They don't mean any disrespect though. They just want to see how it works.
Well, I hope it won't delay you. You are called to come now.
I'll drop the hut and walk out. Okay.
You see she blinks a bit as she looks as the hut disappears. She steps forward and moves her hand where the hut just was, and then looks at her hand and kind of like moves her fingers and looks back, and she says, "Come, quickly."
Time to put some armor on. I don't like being out of it.
You won't need your armor to meet the queen.
Okay, well,
I
I'll put on some like actual clothes, like traveler's robe.
yeah,
Okay.
and I'll pin my patch of Krakova on my like chest.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm assuming those of you who typically wear heavy armor are not currently armored. If you have light armor, you might be able to quickly get into that, but let me know if there's any questions on what anybody's wearing. But yeah, these... Yeah, go ahead, Runak.
Just that Runak always, if he's able to like obscure himself, sleeps in his armor. He's not really sleeping. He's just like a dead body, basically.
Sure, yeah, I would say that works for you.
then
Yeah,
we
if you...
dismiss-
So
yeah.
Laud, basically, as she's saying, let's go, if you're like, oh, hang on, and you start like grabbing things and doing what you can to try to equip that real quick, yeah, I'd say you don't fall too far behind. You can catch up.
Okay.
Grim looks like the Hulk, so walking in there.
All right, so as you guys are gathered and taken back to the same longhouse you were before, you notice the sun is out now, so you can see like all these cat willow reeds and things blowing in the wind. There's many of them that grow all in this area. Again, see a lot of lily pads in the water of the marsh all around the town. You can see many more people out and about now. The vast majority of the population of this area seems to be Trollkin. However, you do see a few occasional other faces, a human here or there, perhaps an elf here or there, maybe even a dwarf, but not a dwarf. The vast majority are Trollkin, and then mostly elves, and occasionally you might see humans as well. As you are taken into the longhouse, you'll notice the same setup as the previous night. You notice the queen looking perhaps a little bit more rested. She has a little bit of more of a smile or friendly look upon her face. And she says, welcome back. It is good to see you. I hope your rest was refreshing.
Yeah, it was perfect. I love the sound of a nice bunk and give us a good rest.
She nods. It is very peaceful here in Haldremos. We like to keep it that way as best we can, and that is why the soldiers that you have seen, they take to great efforts to do just that. Thank you once again for your arrival here. I'm sure getting here wasn't so easy. For outsiders, it is usually quite arduous to make the travel and get here. The weapon and shield that you have returned, we appreciate it very greatly. These belong to one of our sisters. She was a great warrior and a leader of soldiers. It is very sad to hear that she has fallen. These weapons will be put to use for a future soldier who is in need and shows quite good quality and ability to be able to wield them in her honor. Anytime one of our sisters falls, especially one as decorated as this, we do a ceremony to remember her and all of her efforts. This involves a few different activities, in fact. In the ceremony, there will be feasts and there will be games of sport and other activities to honor her memory. I extend an invitation to you all to join us in these activities.
A feast. I'm very good at those.
I accept all invitations, Your High Majesty.
She smiles towards you slightly once again, and she says, Your Highness will be quite sufficient. And yes, I am glad to hear that. We will be sure to have plenty of food and drink for all of you. You will all be able to eat your fill and then some.
It's been some time since that's been the case. We appreciate it very much. Thank you, Your Highness.
She nods slowly. And of course, I don't want to dismiss your own needs. I am sure you did not come here simply to deliver this weapon and shield, though that would be quite admirable. You mentioned being on a very tight timeline. Please tell me what it is that you are here for and what I can do to assist you.
Oh, Archie has all that. Archie!
Yes. We were sent here from Jagoda. She's a shield maiden of Sif down south. Our story goes much further back, but the long and short of it is we have the robes of Adeline, and we are looking to stop a wedding.
stop a wedding in this area?
Well, we found a invitation in with where we found this sword and shield. It contained the symbols of Morena, Vardasan, and Chernobog, and I assume that those three are engaged in some kind of blood wedding or a red wedding.
You notice her face kind of scrunches up in a look of distaste. May I see that letter? And you see she motions with her finger, and one of the warriors approaches and holds her hand out.
I will hand it over to her.
The warrior delivers it carefully to the queen, and you see she will look at it, and you see her mouth moving very, very slightly as she seems to read the words on the page. And she looks back up and she says, "This is quite disconcerting." And yes, that is very concerning, to say the least. And I assume that your group has been sent to stop this wedding?
That
Yes,
is correct.
Absolutely.
Sister Jagoda sent us.
You see she nods slowly once again, and then she'll raise her hat as she looks at all of you, and she says, "I am familiar with Sister Jagoda down there in Jost. She is, I won't quite say a friend, but an ally nonetheless. I'm glad to hear she is still doing well. It has been some time since I've seen her in person. This Midnight Temple, I have heard talk of it, but I can't say that I know exactly where it is. It is in this region, but I don't know specifically where it is. I will have to call upon diviners to try to learn its location, which will take some time. I hope you can be patient while we discover that, for simply walking out and exploring is unlikely to find the location that you need."
Well, I think there's a fine print there about the moons, right, Archie? Right? What? There is a kind of a timeline, right?
That is correct. So when we found this, we determined we had 23 days. Took us 6 days across the ocean, and then 1 day to travel here. So, according to my journal, anyways, we have 16 days until the new moon, which is when this event is supposedly happening.
You see she looks, her eyes flick back towards the invitation and then back towards you all, and she says, "I see. You are trying to be precise in when you arrive. Are you trying to arrive at the moment of the wedding or perhaps beforehand?"
Ideally before to stop it.
She nods again. "Yes, I hope that the fortunes will favor that request, though when it comes to divinations, I'm afraid precision is not always there. We'll have to see exactly what it is we can find out about this Midnight Temple."
Do you know maybe perhaps why these three gods would be involved in this? What's the ritual?
Give me a persuasion check, Archkill. I can't say I know for sure. There's always a chance that it could be related to ongoing events in this region, but it's not a good use of our time to speculate on things without any degree of certainty. And needless to say that where they are involved, dark things follow. So striving to fight against them is admirable and to be encouraged.
Well, this isn't the only time we've heard about this event either. Back in Zobek, we stopped a cult uprising there, or at least what we assume to be some kind of intrusion by the ghouls. But that was when we first heard it from Rava.
Zobek, my, you have come quite a long distance. Well, I'm afraid I don't have much information to give you at this point. May I keep this letter? It will surely help the diviners seek this information more quickly.
Hey, could we get a copy of it?
If you wish to jot down the text, I will need the original for the diviners, though.
No, don't worry, Barnaby. I have it written down in my journal.
Oh, okay, good.
And I will be sure to return it to you when the diviners are completed with their task. But for the moment, while we are preparing for the feast and the activities, you are our guests here in Haldremos. You may feel free to explore as you wish. Please be respectful to the town and to the warriors that guard it. Please don't stick your nose anywhere that they shouldn't be. I hope you don't take offense to that expression, but I have found with outsiders I have to be very blunt.
These activities, can we participate? We would love to, honor the fallen.
You are very much encouraged to participate.
Excellent.
I look forward to that.
You see, she smiles a friendly smile towards you, Grim, and she says, I look forward to seeing how you fare against the Shield Maidens.
They did good at one time. I didn't do as good, though, because, boy, she was tricky. She had a great shot.
Not the Shield Maidens of Haldremos, I suspect that you are speaking of there, no.
What they had a competition of us trying to see if just to test our valor, and I would have done good if I. But boy, my gosh, yeah, they did. The other ones did good though.
We shall see how well you all stack up against the Shield Maidens of Haldremos. I should put out to you that our tasks are varied. Our activities will test your skills and your aptitudes in many different areas. I very much look forward to seeing how well you handle them. But as I said, feel free to explore. Feel free to eat and drink your fill. I have let everyone here know of the guard and of folks who have import to know that there are external folks or travelers here in Haldremos. As you can probably expect, we don't get a lot of travelers in this part of the land, so they are on notice that you are around. But still, as I said, just be respectful and don't go into locations that you're not wanted or that, of course, are not for outside eyes. Do you have any questions before I release you to your own devices?
No, thank you for your time.
She gives you a smile again, and the Shield Maidens of Haldremos will escort you out of the Longhouse, and you find yourself in the village here, or town, where you can explore as you wish.
Hey, where's the nearest bar?
You ask one of the Shield Maidens, and you'll see she kind of points with her elbow off this direction, and then when you kind of look and you're trying to like, how do I get there from here? You notice she kind of does a sigh, and then she points down this dock, and then you see it kind of connects way down there on that side and then over that way. So it's kind of like a horseshoe shape that you have to walk to get over to the bar.
Oh man, I hate walking.
You get a lot of steps in here.
Yeah. Well, we'll make up for it at the feast.
All right, guys. So is there anything in particular you're trying to do here in town before the festivities?
How are we doing on healing potions, people? I don't need any, but I want to make sure you guys are all taken care of.
I have a couple on me, and I think there's several in the bag.
Is there anywhere we could get antidotes?
You ask one of the Shield Maidens this, and she nods. She says, if you mean antitoxins, yes. Now, there is a general store. I can take you there.
Hey, Lod, can I get one of those healing potions out of the fancy bag?
Yeah, sure. I'll hand it to you. There's 3 of each potion of greater healing and potion of healing in the bag now after giving that one to Grim.
Thank you.
I'd like to pick up an antitoxin if we have enough gold for it.
So you can find items here at the general store and the other various stores here in Haldremos. Again, it's not overly fancy, and it doesn't have a huge inventory, but PHB stuff, I would say you can find that for PHB prices. So antitoxin looks like that's 50 gold pieces.
Do you have a place here that sells magical items and stuff of that nature?
You'll see she looks towards you and says, "No, we do not have any magical stores in town. We don't have such a need for such things, at least not enough to have a store. Is there something in particular you're looking for?"
No, just curious if you had any like swamp-based magical stuff.
You see she has a little smirk on her face and she says, "Not that I'm aware of. We generally don't need such things to survive in our homeland." All right, guys. So I'm going to fast forward us a little bit. So you're here in town. Again, if there's PHB shopping you want to do, feel free to do so. Just type in chat what you're buying. And if you're using your own money, obviously, that's fine. If you're taking money out of the bag of holding, just, jot that down in chat to help our folks that are helping keep track of the inventory there. As you guys are hanging out here, you will get a full day before the actual festivities occur. So feel free to apply a long rest to each of you. During this previous day before the festivities, you are noticing preparations being made. You're seeing like food kind of moved, escorted around, barrels and things. They seem to all be getting taken to this one area that one of the platforms kind of goes to, and it seems like an extended portion of land that is not underwater. It's not massive, but probably about half the size of a football field. And you can see a lot of the stuff is being taken in this area. There are some wooden platforms and stuff that are set up nearby to hold additional things. You will notice in your just kind of comings and goings that there are barrels of mead that are being rolled out. You can see hunters kind of going off away from the area and coming back with game and taking it over to that central area. You notice these very large cauldrons set under burning wood, and they keep adding more wood every so often to keep these fires burning quite long. If you happen to get anywhere close to one of these, the brew inside is very foul smelling. You also notice a couple of different of these trollkin bringing cages that seem to contain many serpents. They're bringing these cages full of serpents into that same area, and there just seems to be this sort of air of excitement in the air. Is there anything specific you guys are wanting to do here or inquire about before resting for the festivities?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to that lady who's been walking with us. So the shield maidens of Sif, they worship like Sif. Do you girls worship Sif too?
Yes, we do.
What do you think about Thor? I've been thinking that I would be a good fit for Thor. What are your thoughts?
I don't know you at all. How could I say if you're a good fit for Thor?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could pray. Can you pray? Maybe Sif might enlighten you. Is that how it works?
I wouldn't expect to waste Sif's time with such a prayer.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll ask somebody else then.
Oh, Grim.
What are the snakes for?
The snakes? We eat them alive during the feast. You see she has a little smile on her face as she says this.
You're kidding.
Everything will be revealed at the feast.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, guys. So one thing I will explain to you, because this is a little bit of meta-ness here, but just to kind of put you on notice, you might say, this section of the module uses something known as grace points. So grace points are basically things that you earn as a group for how you handle yourselves during the festivities. If you do things that the Haldremos Spear Maidens or Shield Maidens, I should say, find honorable or valorable, you earn grace points for that. There is specific rules on how many you can earn and how you earn them and all that kind of thing. But these grace points can then be spent as a group to do certain things in other parts of the module. all that is to say you're very much encouraged to participate in these activities. If there's an activity where you're like, oh, my character wouldn't do that at all, that's okay. You don't have to do every activity, but you probably want at least one of your team members partaking in each of these festivities, and multiple if you'd like. So with that in mind, I'm going to fast forward us to the next morning. You guys get to sleep in those barracks once again, and eventually you guys are shuffled out to that central area where you see all this stuff has been gathered. Just so much food and drink and all of these different things. And all this food is kind of set out, and it's just a non-stop day of cooking and drinking. So it's kind of not like just a feast, it's like an all-day feast. And then in between the feasts, there are various activities. So people are kind of grabbing food, and then there'll be an activity, and then there'll be a break, and people are chatting, sitting at these like long tables, and talking about their valor and different activities they've done, great battles they've been a part of, great hunts they've been on, that sort of thing. So that's kind of the area that you find yourself in. At the actual beginning of the ceremony, Queen Thorgerd takes her place upon her throne, and she's going to recite a litany of services of Rangrid. So this is essentially talking about the individual who fell, that you return the shield and the sword. She goes on to cite various deeds of exceptional valor. In particular, she mentions when Rangrid won a javelin throwing contest against all of the other Huldra, when she rescued a lost hunter from a pack of hungry wolves and brought him back to Huldra safely, and when she fought off a pack of dwarf reavers, leading the pursuit when the enemy routed despite being injured. As she is going off and reciting these achievements, the assembled Huldra cheer her name and toss back flagons of ale in her honor. Thorgerd then calls forth one of the Huldra captains, a woman by the name of Hafrid, and Hafrid accepts Rangrid's sword and shield from the queen to be placed in the armory until the queen decides to gift them to a worthy shield maiden. You can notice that the gray-eyed captain accepts the armaments with tears in her eyes, but does her duty stoically. You can see the Huldra are all about this area and begin pulling you all forward to this area where these various activities will be held. So the first activity that is up through all of this excitement, it is falls into the category of feats of precision. So I've got a scorecard here to represent our efforts, and I'm going to change our music up to a little bit more basic music for this part. So you can see this score sheet here, and I've hidden the other section so nobody jumps too far ahead to know what's going on. But we start with feats of precision, and the first contest is an archery contest. If you wish to take part in the archery contest, go ahead and type yes into chat there.
No, is that like archery or just throwing stuff?
Just archery.
Like bow and arrow? Those are kids' toys, isn't it?
You'll notice some of the shield maidens turn and look to you with like frowns on their faces, and you hear one of them says, I could shoot his eyeball out from 100 yards.
I'll laugh.
All right, so it looks like we've got 6 of you participating in this. So with that in mind, we'll start from left to right as I've got it on the score sheet. So this is just alphabetical based on your name. So what you're going to do is you're going to step up and you're going to take 3 shots at the target. So this is going to be using your ranged weapon. The expectation again here is that you're using a bow and arrow. If for some reason you're using a crossbow, I would say you get a few weird looks from people, as it, the crossbow is kind of assumed to be a much, lazier way of firing. There's not much skill. It's kind of just point and click, where the bow takes more skill, but you're not barred from doing so.
If I don't have a bow or a crossbow, will I be given one?
They do have some like practice bows here that you could use temporarily to be in the event. Yep. All right, so we'll start with Archgale then. So Archgale, please make 3 attack rolls and see how well you do at the target. All right, so you hit a bullseye on your first shot. On your second shot, you hit what's known as the 7th ring. And on your third shot, you hit the 2nd ring. So altogether, points-wise, you just scored 19 points. So your first shot, bullseye, was worth 10. Second shot, you hit the 7th ring. That's worth 7. And third shot, that was the 2nd ring. That is worth 2.
Archgale will hold up his crossbow and like blow air across the top of it like it's like a smoking gun before he holsters it.
Really good.
All right.
MG! And I'm going to cheer as I raise my beer.
All right, so of course that is 19. I'm going to get a little totals row going just to make it a little bit easier. But Barnaby, you're up next.
Barnaby will say, I seem to be missing my short bow. Can I get one, please?
And yes, they will hand you a short bow.
And Adam, I also have, so I'm skilled in carpentry tools, woodworking and things. So I'm going to make it look like I'm inspecting the bow to see its quality.
I'm going to say carpentry doesn't really apply to this. This would be more like weaponsmithing. At best, carpentry can tell you is that the wood is decent but not great.
All right, but I'm still going to make the appearance. That's what I'm like. I'm inspecting the bow, and then I'll be looking at the arrows and doing the same thing.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so so do I just roll dexterity since I don't have a bow, or should I put a bow on my?
Put a bow on. Yeah, just drag a from the compendium. If you said short bow, just drag that to your sheet. It should populate the attack for you, and then just go ahead and click that 3 times.
All right, I think I got to take off the. Mine, it just keeps on. When I try to drag something on the sheet, it just keeps on falling off. The sheet goes away.
You don't have it popped out, do you?
No, I just took that off because I know that that's what it causes.
Okay, let me see if I can just drag it down for you. You said short bow, right?
Yeah.
All right, short bow. Yep, so it populated there on your sheet. It looks like it's more towards the bottom.
I see it. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and 3 bullseyes here. Woohoo!
So your first shot misses the target completely. You hear some ooh, like a little bit of surprises from the group.
Yeah, I look disappointed, but I put on a smile on my face and I try again.
Second shot hits the 3rd ring, scoring you 3 points.
All right, I'm like, so I'll aim this one here. Better look through the, looking at my target, not at my bow this time.
And
oh my gosh, what a surprise.
You miss again. Yeah, you'll notice some of the shield maidens kind of like looking at each other, and almost you get the impression that they're embarrassed for you.
Well, I'm embarrassed for me as well.
All right, so after you kind of go away, you see them kind of like scratching the back of their heads a bit, and they're, oh yeah, who's next?
Good try, Barnaby. Caliban goes up and he pulls out his heavy crossbow. It's really built for damage versus accuracy, but if used right, it can be effective. He lifts it up. It makes a horrible clang as it fires, and...
All right, that will hit the 4th ring, scoring you 4 points.
Yeah, it sort of gives it a little bit of a tweak and a twist and reloads it. And hefts it up, and
oof, that one is going to miss the target.
I
Barnaby claps.
Adjusted it the wrong way. Let me put it back, and
come on, guys, you're embarrassing us.
Does a heavy reload here.
All right,
there
that
we
one,
go.
yes, manages to hit the bullseye. And you'll hear cheers as that strike comes in true. That is going to put you up to a total of 14 points.
Glory. Yeah, you can do it.
Yes. All right, Glory, if you are up next, go ahead and make your 3 shots.
Okay.
All right, first one hits the second ring, scoring you 2 points.
Been a while since I shot a boat.
That shot will miss.
Man, you guys are all terrible at this.
The third shot hits the bullseye, a little extra. And yes, that'll score 10.
That
All right,
didn't seem
that'll
so
put you
terrible,
at
Lod.
12.
Your turn's coming up.
Show you how it's done.
You notice after Glory's turn, one of the shield maidens steps up, and you see she kind of eyeballs the range and the target and all this, and puts her finger in the air. And then you see she looks towards you all, and she says, "This activity will be in honor of Rangrid." And she will fire off some shots. She hits the 9th ring on her first shot, but her next 2 do not connect, leaving her with just 9 points. Not quite on the board. She passes Barnaby, but not much to be talked about there. Next up is Grim.
No, thank you. I think it's better for someone a little more yeah.
So as you're kind of standing in the back there, they're looking towards you like, yeah, no. Then they just motion for Laud to take his spot.
All right, and I'll actually grab a short bow for this. Show you guys how it's done. Honor the fallen, and I'm going to use all 3 of my lucky charges to get advantage on all of these shots.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, so on the first one, you're going to hit the 6th ring, giving you 6 points. The second one will get you the 9th ring for 9 points. And then, of course, the last one will be a bullseye. There will be a lot of clapping and cheers, and you see people, the shield maidens, looking quite impressed here.
See, told you I'd show you how it's done. And I'll
Clap.
put the bow back. I would have hit 3 bullseyes with my crossbow.
That a boy, Lard.
All
It's a
right.
Lard.
Before
Nice work.
Runak's turn,
Seems a little lucky, but it was good.
you notice another one of the shield maidens steps up and takes a few shots. She bullseyes, then hits the 2nd ring, then hits the 8th ring for a total of 20 points. She takes the lead just behind Laud, and then we've got Runak.
Yeah, I'm going to use lucky for 2 of these, but I'm going to save 1 lucky.
Okay.
And I also I go over and I take Barnaby's short bow. I say, let me deal with this.
Good luck, my friend.
So the first 2 are going to be lucky?
Yes.
Okay. All right, first shot is going to hit the 6th ring for 6 points. Second is a bullseye for 10.
And then this is just normal.
Another bullseye, passing the lead to 26 points.
Oh, dang, nice shots.
Even more cheering and celebration from the shield maidens around.
We're the heroes. We're gonna do it, guys.
A third
Give you a high
shield
five.
maiden makes her way up to take her shots. Not very impressive. You can see she walks away a bit disappointed. A 4th shield maiden bullseyes her first 2 shots and then hits the 2nd ring for a 22 score, coming in 3rd. Lastly, you notice the captain that accepted the weapons takes her spot. She steps up, looks a bit more assured, perhaps, in her abilities. She bullseyes, then hits the 8th ring, then the 4th ring for 22 points, tying the other shield maiden. However, Runak has won the contest. Runak, there's a lot of celebration. You notice the shield maiden's coming over, clapping you on the back, grabbing your arm and shaking it pretty strongly. You can hear cheering. You hear the queen, the queen going on. Wow, that was amazing skills. Excellent shooting.
Oh, I just got lucky.
All in the name of whatever her name is. What's her name? I forgot her name.
You talking about the queen?
No, the lady we're celebrating, her valor and her strength.
Rangrid
Indeed.
Iron Eyes.
For Iron Eyes.
In
Good
honor of
job.
Rangrid, I do this. It was her guiding my aim.
All right, you notice one of the shield maidens that was on the lower end of the score. She shrugs, she's like, I'm better at the next event anyway. All right, you notice now as the targets are sort of being broken down and taken in different directions, you notice there's these big chunks of tree, these like tree logs, and they're just kind of placed at these weird angles.
Oh, yeah.
Next up is the axe throwing contest. All
Here
right.
you go, Grim.
I'll do this for Iron Eyes.
All right, so axe throwing is a little bit different than archery here. So you notice these a large water-soaked section of log with 5 concentric circles carved into it on each flat end is set up as a target. 1 log is set up for each pair of contestants. So each person who wants to be in this, please put yes in the chat. Okay, so we've got 6 of you. So I'm going to pair the ones that make the most sense here alphabetically. So let's see, Archgale is out. So Barnaby will be paired up with Caliban. So the 2 of you guys will start. And essentially you can think of this as it's you 2 versus each other to see who advances to the next bracket, as if you will. So how this is done is you're doing a thrown attack with your axe. This is just a hand axe, so if you don't have a hand axe on your sheet, please use the compendium to drag that to your sheet. And you're going to throw 5 hand axes at the target. So we will start with Barnaby.
All right. Adam is a hand axe. Is that what I'm going to try to do? Is try to create it from my, as a warlock. So I can use my.
So what I will say is this contest is not really for magic. So how are you creating it? Is it obviously magic?
Yeah, it would be appearing in my hand.
Yeah, so I would say if you do that, you notice they give you kind of odd looks, and you'll see some of them shaking their head, and they point to the hand axes that are laid out there.
All right, I'll grab one of theirs instead.
All right, so it's you up against Caliban. You see this log standing there, and with these various circles or rings on it, seeing which one you can hit.
Sorry, Adam, dumb question. How can I open my character sheet without it popping out? It just auto pops out, which is new.
That's a setting, so let me see. All right, so if you click pop out, it opens in the sheet. And then if you close it, then reopen it, it should not pop out automatically. That's the behavior I see.
Yeah, that's how it usually is. I usually have to then tell it to pop out, but tonight...
Try a refresh again, maybe. I wonder if you're just getting some kind of lag. Bill, let me know if you have any trouble getting that hand axe on your sheet.
Yeah, I was able to get it this time.
All right, when you're ready,
all right,
go ahead
so
and throw 5.
How many? 5, okay.
All right, these targets are, you notice, not necessarily as difficult as archery because, of course, hitting with an axe is more challenging. A 9 is going to miss, however, so it does not bite into the wood, probably hits off to the side. 19 is plenty enough for a bullseye, so second attack will be a bullseye. The 8
Ouch.
will miss.
Man, my dice can't even help when I'm not even fighting a creature.
The 12 will hit the second ring, and the 10, unfortunately, will miss. All right, so let me get those points in real quick. All right, so I've got 5 on the second shot from your bullseye, and then 2 on your fourth shot from the 12. And then, unfortunately, the other one's going to miss. All right, next up is Caliban. Any luck there, Caliban?
Yep, I think I'm good. Five throws.
Yes, 5 throws.
Oh, why did it come up? Oh, there we go. Doesn't matter. Okay. 1.
So that will be bullseye. 13 is the third ring. Another
3.
bullseye.
4.
9 will miss. And then a final bullseye.
Well done, Barnaby. Next time. We'll get him next time.
I don't know. I'm just these axe throwing. I'd rather just shoot at Eldritch Blasts.
We can agree on that.
All right, so right now, Caliban, that is going to put you in the lead at 18 points. You're going to notice now one of the shield maidens is going to go ahead and step up and take her shot at this. She gets 4 bullseyes in a row and then a second ring. Again, she's against a different player, you can think of this as, so she's not against either of you. But obviously, out of the first pairing, Caliban, you will advance. We move on to the next pairing. This will be Glory and Grim. So Glory, we'll start with you.
Okay.
All right, 11 will hit the first ring for a point. Then we got a bullseye. Another bullseye. Another first ring for a point. And a final bullseye. That's 17. Grim, you're facing some stiff competition here. You step up and throw at this log as well, trying to beat Glory. 17.
Good score, Glory.
All right, we got a bullseye. And then a fourth ring. That one will miss. A fourth ring again. And a final fourth ring again.
Good job, bud. I'll take honor, Iron Eyes.
That's 17. You have tied. All right. So once you tie to determine a winner, basically what they do is they have you throw one more axe. This is sort of like a sudden death kind of axe. Because the log has been chopped up so much from all of you guys' axes throwing into it, it's more challenging to get this axe to bite in, so you're both throwing at disadvantage. So we'll start with Glory. All right, Glory, you will miss. Your axe perhaps hits the wood, but doesn't connect. Grim, let's see if you manage to. Yes.
Oh, good job, Glory. That was fun.
Nice job.
All right, next pairing. There's 2 more shield maidens. You guys will watch them kind of going against each other real quick. All right, the first one ends up with 15 points. And the next one ends up with, 12 points. So the first shield maiden advances. And then we move on to Let's see, Laud and Runak, were you guys both participating?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, let's see, Laud, you're going to go first. Go ahead and throw your 5 axes.
Yeah, so I can use True Strike with a hand axe, but would they like notice? There's a semantic component to that. If they would, then I'll just.
Are you actually holding on to the axe and throwing that axe?
Yes, it's just a normal attack, but you can basically do it with any weapon.
Sure, then you can do that. Yep, because again, you're using the axes they're provided. All right, so that will be a bullseye, then a second ring, 2 fourth rings, and another bullseye.
All right, here we go.
All right, so that was 20 points for Laud.
Good lord!
And then
Straight bullseye.
Runak
Nice.
comes in and scores a perfect score.
Damn,
Hey.
good job.
Well done, buddy.
Old Iron Eyes.
All right, with the perfect score, you notice them. Everybody around you is just absolutely amazed. Like the first 2 connect bullseyes, and people are clapping. Once the third goes in, you start seeing like some hushed whispers. And by the time the 4th one goes in, there's a whole crowd behind you cheering you on and like, hit it, hit it, hit it. And when the last one lands, a big cheer goes up in the crowd. You see flagons of ale and mead being kind of sloshed around, smacked together. You see several of them come up and lift you up and put them you on their shoulders as they're kind of lifting you up and down. And it's just
Oh,
an
hey.
absolute atmosphere of celebration as it's kind of blowing all over here.
Oh, golly gee. Thanks, guys. This is fun. I've never thrown one of those before.
You see a couple of them look at you strangely as you say that. And they just start laughing then. You see the other folks kind of talking, and the other one who did really good, you see she shakes her head, and then they look and they say, yep, you're the winner, absolutely. She says, it's not even worth trying to challenge that. There was never going to be a better event than that. Way to go. Congratulations.
Hey.
Take out my lute and start playing a song.
All right, Runak, having won the next one, wins another grace point for the team. All right, as the celebration from these feats of precision begin to die down, you notice the next event that will be up, which is feats of strength. This next one is what is known as the hammer throw. So basically what you see is these chunks of rock, some of you might think of them as small boulders, are being tied to ropes, and there's a platform that stretches out into the marshy area. And you see the one person kind of demonstrate this. Basically, you can think of this almost as like Olympic discus, where you're kind of moving up, you're kind of moving to the side, and then you're trying to chuck the rock as far out into the marsh as you can. Out there in the marsh, they've designated distances where they've have these like kind of marked off. And basically, it's who can get the furthest distance. You will notice that the platform, again, it's a little bit wet, it's a little bit moist here. It's not a guaranteed easy throw. There's a little bit of a balance factor here. But for that activity, we will pick up next week with you guys starting off with that one and seeing how everybody does. So hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's session. It was a lot of fun. We got a few more activities here to go and next week. And then we will continue on with your goal of tracking down the Midnight Temple. All right, have a good night, folks.
Thanks, Adam.
Hey,
Good job, guys.
Thanks, Adam. Enjoy, everybody. Have a good week.
Good game, guys.
Bye, everybody.